we have now.
So we've all been in other bands for a substantial period of time, with the exception of Kathy. This is her first band.
This is my first band.
Which is why she's still so full of youthful energy and excited about it, while the rest of us are just jaded as hell.
First band ever.
Hopefully this will kick over. Sorry about this. Fucking YouTube changed their whole entire setup. So
fucking YouTube.
You know, now you got to go through YouTube to start your live stream. There it goes. So people are going to have to scroll back to catch the last couple of minutes. Sorry about that, everybody.
Hi.
It's all practice.
Hello. Finally, you get to see us.
There we are. So real quick recap for people who may not have catched it, don't want to scroll back. Where are your shows at so they can catch you again?
All right, I'll take over this one. We're actually coming back on stage on December 28th at Respectable Street for Limits 4. Right after, we go on January 4th for Phlebotomy at Churchill's. So I want to see all of you guys on that one. It's pretty exciting. We're going to be playing with Mother Juno. So excited about that one. Right after, we're going to be playing January 11th with Hijas de la Muerte and Laboratory at Poorhouse. And we end January with January 24th at Propaganda with The Coven and all the V words.
Nice.
Yeah, we have a couple of shows coming up, so super excited.
Also, Phlebotomy is vampire themed, so dress like a vampire.
Yes.
But vampires dress like people, so they don't stand out.
That's how you don't know.
Oh. With all the technical difficulties, I'm having a shot. Anyone care to join me? More than welcome to.
Yep, down.
Cheers. I don't drink shots, so.
Oh.
I love tequila.
Oh, that's great.
So, Kathy, what's it like for people who don't know? This is Kathy's first band.
Yes, it's my first rodeo.
First rodeo. Do you find that it's helpful to have, bandmates that are experienced in all this?
Oh, definitely. I'm always asking them, pointers or guidance. So, so that way we all agree to what we need to do in regards to promotions, booking shows, and all of that. So definitely very, very helpful.
She's a natural, though.
Yeah, Kathy's the glue that holds us together, seriously.
I got to keep my boys on check, definitely, so.
Now, who writes the music for the band?
That would be me.
Now, do you do the rhythms, the melodies, and write the lyrics?
Mostly everything. Occasionally there will be like other input. There was actually one song that I believe it was Kathy and Dent wrote completely. Our other old guitarist kind of had like a melody for the lead, but it wasn't really what I ended up writing in the end for the guitar part. But most songwriting is usually me. Sometimes Chuck will come in with like a silly song title, and that will stick and be like the theme to build a song around.
Yeah, I mean, I think Missy is definitely the primary songwriter, although I would like to think that we all add like a certain element to it for sure.
Definitely.
Now, how long have you guys been Obsidion? For those people who don't know or just finding out about you.
A little, probably like a year and a half at this point.
January 21st, 2018. I remember that because that was my 30th birthday.
Oh.
So coming up on our 2-year mark?
Yeah, 2 years.
Oh, nice. I actually joined the band this year in March. So.
I had known Missy for a long time before this band even started, and when he was a sound guy at a club called Creepy Tiki, and I always used to talk to him about how I really wanted to start a band that sounded like this.
Nice.
Funny thing is that he was actually in a band that sounded like this. And I was trying to weasel my way in there, but...
Sorry.
Now, you say sound like this, so for people who may have not heard you, may not be familiar, or may be under the age of 30, what would you compare yourself to so people have an idea that they can kind of get an idea of the sound outside of just listening?
I mean, I would call it death rock. I guess if you had to genreify it, it would be post-punk. I mean, I guess goth is a weird term to describe music because to me it describes culture. So it's not really something you can stick to it. But I would say we have a real common set of influences in this. Older bands we like are
Christian Death, Super Heroines, 45 Grave, and then we also have like the more post-punk influences like Susie and the Banshees, and then like dark wave influences, of course, even modern bands such as like Human Tetris. She passed away, so we're kind of pretty much that like goth umbrella that he brought up, like picking from all of it, and also from a lot of like hardcore punk influence too. So that definitely bleeds over.
Now, what kind of? Oh, go ahead if you.
Yeah, I don't know. Like one of my favorite eras of music is the era between like maybe 1977 to 1982, 83, where like it's before like goth has become goth and post-punk becomes post-punk, where like everything's kind of in the mix. And I think like in that era, there's just like a lot of amazing bands, like, and they're all over the world too. In LA, there's bands like TSOL and 45 Grave. In Australia, there's bands like Birthday Party and Nick Cave and the Bad Seeds. In England, there's Specimen and a million other bands. And so, yeah, I don't know. For me, like, I just really love that era when things hadn't quite been shaken out into, like, the different genres that would come later, and everything's kind of in the mix.
Now, what's that first band that or song that you heard, and one at a time, that made you decide you want to be a musician, that this is the passion you love?
You go first, Chuck. I gotta think.
I'm older, so probably Van Halen was probably like one of the first things I heard where it's like, that's totally awesome and I want to be in a band because that seems like the coolest thing ever.
Damn. Yeah.
I think it was like Metallica, probably. I think it was like the song Seek and Destroy, specifically, like the Kill 'Em All record. I remember I had that on CD at one point before it like broke in my car in high school.
I come from a different angle. I usually listen to symphonic metal, so Nightwish was the one that really got me into the piano playing.
Yeah, for me, it's super lame, but yeah, I started off as a drummer, but NoFX is probably the first band that I actually got into that I really wanted to play drums like that guy. So I kind of hate him now, but that's really where I came from.
Well, that's fucking like I said, it's cool. Like a lot of people don't realize that there's other influences. Like you guys obviously are going for a type of feeling in your music consistently, and not just a feeling but a mood as well, which I like. I like music that not only sits here and sets a tone, but gives you like an atmosphere and it builds an ambiance with it. And not all music does that.
No, absolutely. It's presentation. I mean, like, what makes a great band is their songs, absolutely, but then everything else about the band, the personality of the band members, the visual image of the band, those are like, it's all those things that work together that creates like something like truly memorable and like unique and interesting.
That's fucking awesome. But you guys actually strive for that too. That's a beautiful thing.
Yeah. I think we have like just a very like decided idea of what we like and what we want to sound like in this band.
It's fucking awesome. I like that. Like you guys, no, like there's a lot of bands that like they just want to push a message over, but you guys are striving to build an ambiance with your music and appreciation. I like that. Like there are some, performers that do that because they're providing a performance, but there's other musicians, they just want to push their song. They want to play their music. And it's nice that there's more out there and striving for more.
I mean, listen, songs and music are obviously the most important part of it, like, in the creative output. But, it's show business, baby. I mean, like, the presentation is part of it. And, like, the presentation and the ambiance that goes along with that is to me, as important. Maybe a little less important, but still important.
Yeah, I'd have to agree with that. It's just all part of the spectacle, pretty much.
Yeah.
And the canvas to paint upon.
That's fucking cool. No, I like, this is stuff that people, I mean, I think about weird shit, so.
What type of weird shit?
Me too.
Oh, wow. Fucking, it depends on what's going on and what I'm on. Sometimes I think about, just like why people do some of the things they do, like why people have a problem being honest. Like, why are they so afraid of the truth? Like,
human beings are a complex lot, man.
No,
human beings are a very complex thing.
No, I
dude.
get that, but these are just, they're like, people rather be comforted in a lie and hide inside an illusion.
Oh
And-
yeah, no, that's absolutely true. I mean, like, yeah, and listen, to a certain point, that's probably legitimate in the sense that we have to kind of buffer ourselves as we go through our days and stuff. But yeah, but no, there definitely is, like, I think, like, yeah, it's the nature of human beings, man. Like this self ego and preservation is sometimes like, unfortunately, like an overwhelming thing for a lot of people.
No, well, you asked what kind of weird shit. Like for me, like if there's a disparity between what I'm being told versus what I'm seeing versus what I think it might be, I can't let go of something until I get all the facts and get the story put together in a truthful manner that makes sense, regardless of motives.
I mean, that's legitimate. I mean, truth is truth. The three things you can't hide: the sun, the moon, and truth.
That's like saying you can't avoid death and taxes.
Which is also true.
Now, when you guys are, well, Missy, mainly, when you're writing your songs, are these, things and feelings that are in your head? Are these experiences that you've gone through in life?
Both. A lot of it's kind of like from things that like I've been like recovering from. Example, like the song "Living Dead's" about my heroin addiction. It used to be a song about I have no idea what, back when him and I were in a punk band together, and I pretty much just rewrote the song.
Yeah, I think it was
with the
originally
lyrics
about like zombies or some shit.
Some stupid shit, and then
What year was that?
2004. No,
2004.
2004, 2005.
And people are asking, how many new songs have you guys been working on lately? And that comes from Sky Sterling.
There's a lot.
I'd have to say like 4 or so at this point.
Yeah, like we're still like going over it. One, for example, is about like an ex of mine that passed away. I believe she overdosed. I don't know. It's still like kind of hush what happened, but I think it was an overdose with how she passed. And that's one of the songs that we're working on now. Then there's pretty much, I got like a whole like barrel like lined up for them. So once they get one down, then the next one, it's like, okay, here's like the main riff to this, and here's what key it's in.
Now, have you guys ever thought of just doing an experimental song outside of what you typically play? Just, fucking pulling out different instruments or going for a different pace, just truly purely experimental, just for just to get outside of what you normally do, like, and making it part of an album or anything like that? Or do you guys do anything like that? Just play experimental shit just for fun?
Well, yeah, I know. I always think about that kind of stuff. I really love this band called Bauhaus, and if you listen to a lot of their songs, they are totally outside of what you can consider a typical convention for rock songs. There's just a lot of like interesting instrumentation and like
Oh, the dub influence.
yes, a huge dub influence, which is interesting and weird. But yeah. I mean, I don't think we've really engaged in something like that. I think most of the songs and even the new songs we're working on are still kind of within our wheelhouse, although they are, to me, like way more interesting and better than stuff we've done before. Not that the old stuff is bad, but I just feel like as a unit, like we've kind of gotten a little bit more cohesive. So there's that ability to create like this new material that's still within what we do, but like a lot more interesting and unique.
Now,
Yeah,
real
something
quick.
I mean of,
Oh, go ahead.
Something in the means of like, experimentation and everything is like, because we pretty much like me and Missy, this is our first outing for doing post-punk and everything. Like we're still in the experimental phase for this to push this as far as we can possibly get it to. So
Bauhaus cover?
we're getting pretty close to it. So yeah.
What song should we cover?
Oh, we'll wait to see what they say. The reason why I was like, because I did something I don't normally do. I actually went ahead and listened to your Bandcamp that you guys had posted that was linked to me. Could you tell people how they can find that if they're looking for that, by the way?
Yes.
And, I typically like to get to know the guest point blank outside of seeing. If I catch them at a live show, that's one thing, but I don't normally go and listen to the recordings. When you pull it up, just let me know and I'll stop. Okay, so if you guys haven't listened to them, this is how you can find their Bandcamp.
All right, so you can find us at obsidianfront.bandcamp.com/releases. And you can find actually the last EP, our current EP, Living Den, and as well as Swamp. So you find both EPs on there.
I actually think we changed the Bandcamp.
Yes, that links to
Oh,
works.
let's see.
Yeah, I don't think that's the right.
Might be
one.
official Obsidian still.
Let's see. I can bring it
But
up here.
while she's working on that, we also have all our music up on like Apple Music, iTunes, Spotify, YouTube.
And people
et
are
cetera,
asking
et
where
cetera.
they could get your merch if you got any available.
Do we have the merch?
That's forthcoming. We actually have like a lot of really cool, new, exciting merch that's going to be coming out within like the next 1 to 2 weeks. And if you just follow us on social media, we'll be posting links to like our Big Cartel store where you can get it. We have these really nice embroidered patches. I'm just really excited about them because
Well-
embroidered patches are cool.
When you got, well, if you guys have any stickers, make sure somebody comes back and puts one up on the wall.
Absolutely, absolutely.
Like up at the overhead, the guests can't see it, but I have a band member, whenever they've got stickers or anything like that, post one up there. So just kind of building a remembrance. So
Right on.
Is that the only the bands that have done the podcast?
correct.
Okay. Yeah, we can come back and do that.
few in my car.
Oh,
Awesome.
perfect.
Well, after the show, then we'll definitely have you guys put one up. But
Let me go back to our Bandcamp actually, because we just made some changes. It is actually officialobsidian.bandcamp.com/.
check it out. Now, like I said, I cheated. I don't normally listen to the bands if I don't catch them live, but I listen to your. I got a couple links. I heard you guys on Facebook. I'm like, I got to hear what you guys sound like, and because it's my kind of music. Like I'm a lot older than people realize. I'm 40. Go fuck yourself.
I'm 47, pal.
But no, but like,
48.
Oh, wait, I am 48. I just had a birthday. I forgot.
well,
He
you
just
know,
had
I
a
mean,
recent birthday.
Thanks.
Happy birthday, Chuck.
Happy birthday, Chuck.
Happy birthday, Missy, too.
Listen, after you get older,
Yeah,
those
it's
40
December
birthdays
5th.
suck.
And
Missy.
you know, like I was listening, so I listened to it, and I obviously, as I told you guys earlier, I think you guys are, as musicians, extremely fucking talented.
Thank you.
Thank you.
And yeah, like, and you gotta understand, like, my music taste is so all over the fucking place. Like one of my favorite musicians is a pianist named Havasi, out of Hungary. I mean, I know a lot of people like Lindsay Sterling. She's a very talented violinist, but like,
She started off on YouTube, didn't she?
I believe so.
recall.
I mean, music's music, man. Like, it's important to, like, I don't know, like, friends that I have that, like, limit themselves to one genre. I'm like, why? There's so much music in the world, and it's like, no matter what it is, like, just somewhere, no matter what genre it is, you're going to find something interesting if you look for it.
Well, it's like another musician that I've become a huge fan of is Sturgill Simpson. And he released recently a Netflix animated movie of his album called Sound and Fury. What's interesting is he wrote and recorded the entire album and then took it to Japan and had them animate based on the soundtrack.
Huh.
Now, it's like if I tell you what kind of musician he is, you wouldn't. He used to play. He was what got him where he was playing like outlaw country style music. But Sound and Fury sounds nothing like his old music. He's got keyboards, synths in it. It's don't get me wrong. Like if you dissect the lyrics, it's still outlaw country. But the music itself is totally like a different field. And it's just fucking amazing. Sorry, I'm rambling at this point. And we
That's
do
good.
that
You
here.
obviously are a fan of it. Like, you obviously have, you have,
Yeah.
like, a great deal of passion for it, which is important, yeah.
Well,
Yeah.
I truly, like I said, that's why part of the reason why I think you guys are phenomenal is because any music that can elicit not just an emotion, but set a mood and a tone. Like, I listened to your entire fucking Bandcamp fucking like twice while I was driving. In fucking rush hour in Miami without losing my shit.
God damn.
Well, no, yeah, and I mean, dude, yeah, at the end of the day, music is about a certain human-to-human connection. I mean, that's like whether you're playing live or you're just listening to like a record. I mean, like there's records I can think of that like got me through like hard points in my life because just having like those as like a way to like listen and like go like, oh, other people have felt this way, like totally helped. Yeah, Missy and I were talking about it on the way up here. It's like technical proficiency, like the ability to really play an instrument really well, isn't always part of like really great music. Sometimes really great music is written by people that don't have a lot of talent, but they're able to emote what they want, and it connects on a very human level, you know?
Now, Sky Sterling, once again, wants to know if you could pick any band to tour with, who would that be?
Just one? Oh, wow.
Yeah, well, you all can pick one independently, separately, so you guys could technically get up to 4 bands out of this.
The Damned.
I'm actually going to pick another local band that's up in Orlando called La Montreux. They're really good. We vibe with them really well. I think it'd be a lot of fun. We'd get in a lot of stupid situations.
I love the Crew Shadows, so I would love to tour with them.
I got nothing. Let me think.
Any band.
Die High.
Come on, man, you're allowed.
It's the other band. that
Plugging
we
your
should
other
have.
band.
It wouldn't work, but that's the only thing that came with.
You can dream, man.
And then follow that up with what's your favorite city to play in, and is there any ideal venue in another city or locally that you would love to play?
I mean, our ideal place
New
to play would
Orleans.
be New Orleans. Yeah.
New Orleans.
New Orleans
Yeah.
is. We love New Orleans. New Orleans. We recently toured. We went on like a 2-week tour and played like 2 shows in New Orleans, and it was amazing. I've never been in a place that's so us, but it's absolutely true.
Just drink everywhere.
You can drink everywhere and party in a graveyard and have sex in a catacomb and
Get your foot pissed on in front of a tombstone.
that's going
Make
deep.
out with 3 other
That's
people.
going deep into the story.
We're revealing a lot about ourselves right now.
Let's just say it was fun in New Orleans. So.
Oh no, let's go into the story. That's what we're here for. We're here to hear the story. Pour yourself more tequila if you need it.
Yeah. So we played in New Orleans at this venue called The Goat, which is,
I love the goat.
the entire place is like Baphomet themed. Like I can't think of like a more like perfect place for us to hang out. We got to play there. We had a show booked for the first night, and the people that ran the bar were very, very kind and liked us and asked us to play a second night. But
We actually
Temple
begged,
of
like, we're like,
Mercy.
let's play. We play here. We'll play it for free.
We did play with Temple of Mercies, which they're great people, amazing
Yes,
band,
yes.
Sister of Mercy's band, and cover band, so they're great.
yeah, the first night we got to play with this band called Glitch Black, which is a DJ with this amazing light show and video show. And Synths, yes, he played Synths. And then the second night we played with, who else? Dead Funeral. Wait, oh my God, what are they called?
That was the second night. We just played with.
No, the second night. Who was the funeral company? Dead Sled Funeral Company.
That's like,
Yeah.
And what was the Sisters of Mercy band?
Temple of Mercy.
Temple of Mercy. Duh. You know,
Well,
I
that's
felt
how we
really,
started
I
this
felt really
conversation,
dumb.
Chuck.
I felt really dumb when I was watching them. I was like, man, every one of these songs sounds like Sisters of Mercy. And then I realized, like, oh, they're a Sisters of Mercy tribute band. But also, I mean, just the other great thing about New Orleans was the people we met there, and they took us to a really cool graveyard that we hung out in, and just showed us around the city, which was amazing.
Me and
did
Missy drove
bad
straight up
things.
through the night to get up there.
In that cemetery.
Missy hadn't slept a lot, so they were extra crazy.
Yeah.
Got some cool jewelry at the
Got in some cool fights
Touring's
with each other.
oh,
Always fighting with each other.
never boring.
I don't think we
Well,
fight that
being in
much.
a band is like being in a family, man. I fought with my sister all the time, dude. Like, yeah, you're gonna fight with your brothers and sisters. That's how it goes.
More like marriage, I'd imagine.
So, Tainted Remedy is asking, do any of you guys get nervous before getting on? And if you do, how do you calm your nerves?
Yes.
Cheers,
Alcohol
bro.
would be my guess.
Cheers, yeah.
At this point, I'm older and I've played in bands since I was like 19, so I've probably played like thousands of shows at this point. I'm still totally nervous. I don't know. Like, what do? Drink a couple beers, I guess. Like, I don't know. That's sort of a solution. But I don't know. Yeah, just anytime I think you're presenting your creative output to people, it's always a little nerve-wracking because it's hard to know how people are. I mean, I don't know. At the end of the day, I'm just going to present it and hope they like it. But it is a little nerve-wracking when people may or may not like it. You don't know.
I feel like, yeah, that's very true. But once the ball gets like rolling, it kind of triggers off, and you kind of go into this like
Muscle memory.
yeah, muscle memory and like
A
kind of a
trance.
high. Like that's like
Yeah,
a trance.
yeah.
But
Third-
definitely a lot of muscle memory there too. Like, oh yeah, I've done this a lot of times already.
No. Third song in, like, I'm in a different world. Like, once it gets going and gets started, then, like, yeah, I'm able to tune out everything else. But those 30 minutes before you have to get on stage, annoying.
Very nerve wracking for me,
Sweaty,
especially since it's my
uncomfortable.
first band. But and a lot, especially with a lot of eyes looking at you. I typically drink just a cup of wine and just let loose and relax. That's the way I deal with that.
A A little bit of a trick that I can give to a lot of people that actually want to like figure something out that's an easy fix other than getting drunk as shit is you
Jerk
gotta look
off?
at the crowd, but
You yell rock and roll and kick someone in the.
Well, you said you got 30 minutes before. I mean, you only need about 8
I mean,
seconds.
if you could,
You
depends
yell
on the
rock and
bathroom
roll
that
and
you're
someone
gonna be
kicks you in the
You're not
balls.
gonna
It's
jerk off
great.
in the Churchill's bathroom, you know.
The
But-
whole fucking place at Churchill's is the bathroom. But that's beside the point.
Well, yeah, the way to do it is you got to look at the crowd and then look up like a little bit above them, so you're not looking at anyone's face, but it looks like you're looking at them.
One thing where I really get nervous is like, and I notice Chuck gets this way too, is before the show.
Yeah.
Where like you're loading up all the gear before you're even at the venue. It's just like, shit, where is everything? And like, you're in a panic, and then you're cursing the whole way in
Yeah.
traffic
You
there.
always feel like-
And
I'm
all of our
late,
shows
I'm
are
late,
so
even though
far
you're
away.
like an hour early.
No, it's stressful. I mean, I've done it like literally thousands of times. It's still stressful, but it's fun. So like the payoff is totally worth it.
Now, have you guys ever gone to play a show at any time and the crowd was not what you were expecting and you were like, oh my God, they're going to judge us for how we're dressed in the show we're going to, like, you were just booked for like the wrong fucking venue?
Yeah, but I don't know. I would take that as a challenge. Like, all right, like you don't like us and we think we're weird. Like, all right, we're gonna be weird.
But no, have you ever been put at a venue like that?
Yes.
Yeah, totally,
Yes.
totally.
I think in Kentucky.
No, you thought that it was going to be that way in Kentucky.
Well, no,
but-
it was awesome, but it was
Yeah.
still like, it was like a death metal show, and I was like, we're not death metal at all.
Yes, and we were a little nervous that the metal kids wouldn't appreciate it.
And how'd the crowd react?
They loved it.
Awesome.
I was expecting to get chased away with like torches being called the F word and stuff, which I kind of wanted, honestly.
Yeah.
What's the F word?
Not the fuck word.
Not the
other
fuck
F
word, the other one.
The one about gay people.
Why would you think? Because of the way you're dressed?
No, just because metal sometimes.
No, I'm asking because you got to remember,
I'm very effeminate on stage.
Look
But-
at right now.
And
like,
sometimes,
Carmen Sandiego
and
over
some
here.
metal crowds.
okay,
can be.
but okay, I grew up during the 80s where some people, fucking Boy George was fucking amazing, and he was gay as fucking. Who gives a shit? Like, good music and a good performance is all that matters. So, of course, my mom was very liberal. My mom thought I was gay until I was 25. So,
Yeah, I think this was just really more Missy's paranoia than anything else. Because they
Well,
like.
I kind of wanted it too, because there's a story of Rick James
Well,
where he
it
was
makes you
playing in
play
the
a lot
South and he
better.
got chased away by a bunch of
Well,
people.
yeah, I mean,
well, this one's a little trolly, but it's kind of funny.
Plan for the worst, but hope for the best.
So, what's the worst item of clothing to wear for a show? Quote, end quote, besides Missy's current outfit.
You don't
Fucking
like my
boa.
outfit?
What's
goes a
the worst
cappy.
item of clothing to wear for a show outside of Missy's current outfit?
Said that.
A fucking boa. I thought
A
they
feather
were,
boa?
Yeah, feather boa. Like I wore it a few times, but every time that I wore it, it fell off and would get like right in my fretboard, so I couldn't play. So
This thing always gets in the way of like my picking hand too.
Yeah,
The
it
gloves
sucks.
suck too. Like I have to like coordinate gloves better for like
yeah,
palm
you gotta
muting
wear
and
that on
stuff.
the left hand because you can't really like mute. and
Yeah.
shit. Yeah.
And like the fishnet glove always gets caught, so I had to get one that like doesn't block my palm.
Yeah, usually.
That's a thing.
Me and Kathy dress for action, so we never have these problems.
Yeah, exactly. I know I can't wear fishnet hand stuff because I'm a kid, I try to avoid. Oh yes, that's
You don't wear your
just
contacts,
contact. I
Liv.
don't wear my contacts on stage. Only when I go out. But yeah, I will wear contacts just because I need to see my keyboard. So.
All right, so if you guys had to play a different instrument than you currently are playing, what would it be that you could get close or something similar to the ambience you're playing?
Oh God.
Like whether an acoustic,
Another guitar.
an acoustic variant.
And instead of drums, I don't know, some cardboard boxes maybe. Like.
No, like your instruments got lost and you couldn't afford to buy. Like, what would you like? Even if you had to roll it, borrow it.
We used to be like in a folk band, so we're
Yeah,
good.
yeah, I
We're
have a
good to
washboard
go.
at home.
We can make noise with anything really. Like actually specify a folk punk band,
I
so
can
we could
use-
get
Yeah.
really.
I can use the
Really
triangle.
interesting.
You can
Give
can
me
use
a
this
wash tub
xylophone,
and I'll play bass on
acoustic
it.
guitar. Like I used to play just a snare with brushes in the last band, and also a washboard and shit. Another thing is a wash tub bass where you put a broom handle on top of a wash tub and with a piece of rope and play it like a bass. Like,
Oh yeah, I've seen that.
You have to
Yeah.
like shift
I
it
mean,
back
that's
and
a-
forth to do the note. You're only doing fifths.
we
from
have
a
way
boom,
too much
boom,
experience
boom,
in
boom.
this, so yeah.
Now, what's the weirdest thing you've ever seen at? Like, is there anything like, oh my God, you'll never forget this happened at a show, or you saw this happen at a show, whether it was while you guys were playing or someone else was playing?
Man, there's been so many of those experiences that I can't remember them all, honestly.
Well, no,
So
the one that
intoxication
sticks
doesn't
in your
help.
mind, like that you can't. There's got to be one that sticks in your mind you can't forget.
oh man,
Like that whole. I can't believe that fucking happened. Like, oh.
man.
Sounds like every night.
Yeah, I was gonna say like
Yeah.
after a point, like 'cause there's so many.
I
of
mean,
them.
there's always a point where I just get nude and start like yelling at everyone. Like that's like every night on tour.
You think?
I mean, at shows, I don't know about that. We'll see. We'll see after phlebotomy though, because phlebotomy is getting pretty fucking crazy.
yes,
Yeah?
they've
And
got.
I'm,
they've
I'm
got
looking forward to January 4th at Churchill's.
yes, they've got
So
burlesque
come out.
dancers that cover themselves in fake blood and that kind of stuff.
See, that's not that crazy though. I feel like that's,
Oh no,
They're not
they're
as
getting
crazy.
crazier. You didn't go to the last one. It got fucking.
Now you're
crazy.
talking about making me go down to fucking Miami for a show.
Yeah,
I mean,
good,
like
good.
I'm already planning on seeing you guys at Respects and Prop, but now you're making me go down to Churchill's. I'm gonna have to go buy all new fucking boots after that show.
Walmart $35 boots.
you could just go to the.
Easy.
You should just get Churchill shoes. I never get how people show
What
up
are
in like.
Churchill shoes?
I just don't get how. I don't. I've ruined so many shoes at Churchill's. I don't get how people show up there in like flip flops and sandals and stuff. It's like, ugh.
Oh,
Yeah.
You're stepping in like everyone's urine right now.
Says the motherfucker
maybe that's
that
a
was
kink though.
playing
I
on
don't
the
know.
fucking floor a few shows ago back in
Oh
like
yeah, I was
June.
rolling on that fucking floor. I was like just lathering myself in it. I've done grosser stuff than that at Churchill, so
jealous.
that's not even bad.
Sky's asking, do you guys have another photo shoot coming up, and are you gonna have posters made up? Because they would love to get one signed by you guys.
Oh, if only we knew someone that can make some posters.
if only.
only.
Whatever.
Yeah.
I have
yeah,
a printing
check.
company. I make posters. Yes, I'll make posters. Do we have another-
IronForgePress.com.
Yes, I own a company called Iron Forge Press that prints posters.
I thought it was pronounced Forgay.
4K.
That's Italian.
So is that
Forge.
Fragile. It's a
Fragile? It must be Italian.
We don't have another photo shoot planned because that last one was so rad. Shout out to Roberto Badilla.
Spin style.
Yes,
Spin
but
Style
at Spin Style on
Photography.
Instagram.
Yes, he did an awesome job of photographing us and dealt with us.
Can I say
a lot of
something?
Absolutely, say whatever you
So
want.
for that photo shoot, I was actually sick. Everything that could go wrong went wrong for me personally for that photo shoot. My
Tape.
my latex, the photos that you guys see, that my latex outfit and the skirt actually ripped open, so, but I still wore it. The boys helped me out. And you know, I had to pose a certain way, a certain angle, so you guys won't see the tape
tear?
that I had holding it together. But yeah,
Electrical tape. It was just like regular. Like,
medical tape because I'm a nurse. So I had some
Nurse.
medical. I had a medical tape, so I had to tape my my ripped latex open because it was the only outfit I had planned for that photo shoot. And I was sick, and you know, but it turned out well. So
It still turned out good. Yes.
it turned out wonderful. I
And
love
Roberto was
Roberto
very patient
Badillo.
with us. And afterwards, we went and got German food.
Yes.
What'd you have from the German Schnitzel?
I had the curry sausage and a boot of beer, which was like this big.
I had
It's
a
like,
boot
what,
of beer as well.
30 ounces.
It's a liter. No, 2 liters actually.
It's 2 liters.
Yeah, I think we had a 2 liter of beer.
God, how can you?
Oh no, we don't drink 2 liters of beer on the regular.
Yeah, that's like a 4-pack. You know?
Maybe a liter, but not 2. That was a lot of beer.
Okay. Well, this is a little creepy, but whatever. Aside from getting something signed, what are the chances of getting a chance to go out on a date with Kathy?
Oh.
Shocker!
I don't know. I mean,
Not ask creepy questions on a live stream for a starter.
that's okay.
You can
No, that's
submit you
okay.
can submit an application and see what happens.
No.
Go through the Missy
Can we make
interrogation
can we
process.
make a
first?
reality? No, I don't care. Can we make a reality show out of it though?
No. Well, it depends. You know, I meet a lot of people and stuff.
No,
It just-
not in a
Wait a
band.
minute,
I
wait
can't
a
believe
minute.
that
Right.
happens.
Wait a minute. Wait a minute. Nobody asked about a date with me though.
Yeah.
Chuck's single.
Well, they probably figured
single.
you weren't single.
What the fuck?
Chuck is single.
Damn, yo. All right,
Get
did
at 'em,
anybody ask
ladies.
yet? How about now? How about now?
All I can say is just DN me. Just DN me.
Which she won't respond to for a while until she realizes it's for an interview. No, I'm kidding.
Oh snap!
Slide into them DMs.
So, So, has there ever been like somebody that showed up for a show that was dressed like totally separate from the crowd that you were like, what the fuck's this person doing here?
I never would think that.
Yeah.
I'm like, yeah, well, even just like completely like normal, like say like some super yuppie and like a nice like suit. I'd be like, oh, cool. Maybe I'll buy her shit.
We welcome that no matter what.
They're there for a
like, I love
reason.
it.
Maybe they like the music or something. But yeah. I mean, look, sometimes the most punk rock guy at the punk rock show is the guy that's wearing a three-piece suit.
The one thing I judge with outfits again is probably like flip flops and sandals at Churchill's. That's probably like the one thing I'm like,
And khaki shorts with the flip
Oh
flops.
yeah, I mean they may as well go all out then with like maybe like a bowler shirt too.
No, a polo like they just got off the golf course. There you go.
I would never.
Polo's
I
fine,
wouldn't-
pretty much.
Yeah,
just
I
like,
wouldn't-
Just
I
make
would-
sure, make sure that you're not wearing flip flops. That's pretty much it.
I would not try.
At Churchill's, anyways.
Yeah.
Respects, you're fine. Prop, you're fine. Churchill's, though.
Yeah.
I would try not to overjudge somebody on their fashion sense, whether it's good or bad.
I mean I judge, but not in that way.
Well, no, I mean ultimately you judge a person by the nature of their character and personality. You know.
Yeah, pretty much. If you show up like basically just off a shift, that's fine. If you show up fancy in any way, fancy. I mean, sorry, Kathy. Sorry.
Fancy.
Fancy. That's fine. But if you show up just like
Fonzie is
like in gym shorts and in flip flops and just looking like shit, like what is it really? You know?
Kathy, being the glue of the band, is really good at like letting us know when we're doing something stupid. So the term she uses is fonzie. If she says this isn't fonzie, then we know we're doing something wrong.
Okay.
Yeah.
And now what's it take to take you out on a date, Chuck?
Oh, who is
Chuck!
it? Tell him to DM me and send an application.
Get him a 4-pack of malt liquor, and he's yours.
Just take a quick selfie and send it into Chuck's DMs.
Yeah. I mean, a date with me is we're probably gonna ride bicycles around and drink malt liquor. So.
Oh, Chuck, do you want to go on a date?
Back alley chicken.
Oh, yeah, maybe.
I like sushi, so if anyone wants to know,
All right,
I like
this is a complex
sushi.
story
You
to
guys
explain.
want
I'm trying to
to
explain.
sushi
Okay,
date?
well that's easy, Kathy. You're on.
Yeah, sushi. I like that.
Oh yeah.
I'm very simple.
I love sushi. Okay, does everyone here eat sushi, or is it?
I love sushi.
Like I honestly think anyone that doesn't eat sushi has an issue.
My ex hated sushi. Gone.
'Cause-
That's why she's my ex.
No, like, seriously. Like, even if you don't like, if you don't like tuna, salmon, like, you could have a fucking California roll for
It's
Christ's sake.
delicious. No, I mean the first time I was introduced to sushi, I had no idea what it was, and I was like immediately like, "Oh, this is good. This is delicious."
You got it's when you guys play at Respects, we'll go over next door. My favorite hidden sushi place is Sushi Jack's up in Voltaire.
In Voltaire, right on. Is it good? I've never eaten.
Oh
there.
my God, he is one of the top 3 sushi places in Palm Beach County.
Dude, yeah, and sushi is totally one of those things that's very
Oh
chef
my God,
specific.
we will. I'll coordinate with you guys before the show. We'll go fucking get sushi. Oh my God, his shit is amazing. Oh, okay, after the show, whatever.
Yeah, not before the show. We'll be all logy and slow.
It's a lady.
It's a light.
I also eat a lot.
Stop
I eat a
flirting with
lot.
me so hard, Kathy. We're in the middle of a show.
Kathy can't help.
I don't blame her. What about Chuck and Missy though? Is sushi and wine?
Wait, is it double? Does somebody want to go on a double date with me and Missy?
I think so.
God, that would be a terrible. That would be a very. Long,
We'll ruin your life if that happens. That's like a one-night life ruiner. You'll like not wake up on time to go to work the next day.
No.
Are you ready to stay up?
That's like a 3-day.
Are you ready to stay up for 72 hours?
I hope
straight?
you're ready. I hope you're ready to go to.
Yeah, you're ready for that.
I hope you're ready to go to every gay bar in Wilton Manors because that's what's going to
Shout
happen.
out to Scandal. Shout out to Monkey Business.
Yes, totally. We're from Wilton Manors, and we love Wilton Manors, and Wilton Manors has some of the best bars in the universe.
Sorry. What's your favorite gay bar in Wilton Manors?
Oh, man, this is a tough one. It's going to be a
The manor itself.
No. Oh, that's overpriced and lame. You got to go a little off the strip to get the best ones. Scandals, which is the gay cowboy bar, would be number 2. Monkey Business, which is the dive drag bar, would be number 1. Like at both places, drinks are like $3, and people are exceptionally friendly. And it's
You
a lot of
mentioned
fun.
that. So FYI for anyone, sorry, I'm gonna plug my own show. December 22nd, I have Rihanna, who actually is an amazing drag queen. If you haven't seen any of the shows she produces, oh my God, you gotta see them. But she's gonna be our guest on the 22nd.
Awesome.
Fucking great show, fucking amazing. You guys gotta catch it. Sorry, you fucking brain just jumped over to that.
No, that's rad. I really liked. Well, I loved. It was called Boom. Now it's Hunters. I don't like that one so much anymore. I liked it when it was Boom. Because yeah, that was. I'm not gonna say it was fun. Now it's probably Scandals because I get really drunk during the day. There's a drag show outside, not a very good one, but it's fun as fuck. And then I go inside and there's line dancing. And god damn, the line dancing's really good. Like, fuck, I'm from Arkansas and I'm just like, how are they doing it this good? Like, this is like.
I remember seeing this
like
motherfucker
next level.
at Scandals for like legitimately like 14 hours straight. Like opening up the bar and closing the bar.
I mean, it's a cowboy themed gay bar. Like, it's just like, it's perfect. The only thing I'd beat that is like a pirate themed gay bar.
That'd be better.
Missy, got another one asking about taking you out on a date.
I am everywhere. Find us at Scandals.
See, everyone thinks because I'm a blue collar guy. I'm a tower worker. I climb cell towers. I install. I keep your fucking phone working. My balls make your calls.
I like that.
Yeah, I mean we're all pretty blue
But-
collar. Yeah.
Like
The
that
funny thing is in my 20s, I had a gay roommate. Didn't know he was gay. Didn't give a shit. I don't give a fuck what your sexual preference is. I don't care where you stick your dick or your pussy, whatever. But I have to tell you, if you're a straight guy, I honestly think you should live with a gay guy for a year. First of all, especially if they have a lot of fag hag friends. Oh my God. You will get laid so goddamn much. They're laughing because they know I'm right.
This is how my mom and dad met, actually.
But no, like, because they're like, who's your friend? Is he gay too? No, he's straight. And he knows you're gay. Yeah, I think the guy's coming in the house, staying the night. Kind of give it away. And is he single? Yeah. I'm going to go hit fuck him now. I mean, they're like, oh, it's like, oh my God, stay away. Enough is enough. I'm not fucking just a piece of dick. Leave me alone already.
I'm a human being. No, dude. Yeah, I've totally like had tons of like gay friends that are totally like the wingman for like the three straight girls that are at the bar.
Don't get me wrong. I get what women go through because I've dealt with that. In this case, it was a gay guy who was like the fucking douchebag straight guy that just would not take no for an answer. Oh. Fortunately, that's why I feel somewhat bad for women. Is as a guy, I was like, all right, I've told you no twice now. If I tell you no a third time,
no is no.
I'm gonna beat your ass and throw you the fuck out of here. Like,
no
we're cool.
No,
Leave me the fuck alone.
Yeah.
So the fact that girls go through that, like, I feel bad for them. I really do. Like,
oh, dude,
there's so many men that, not so many, but those creepy dudes who just can't take no need to fucking learn that shit.
Yeah,
like,
I assume it's like maybe, which is, or it's just like, oh, she's not. Like, it's just combative. They're just like sick or some shit.
no.
And it's just like they just keep pressuring it until they get a yes, and that's fucking rape in my book. Like, fuck that shit.
Yeah, no. If I was a woman, I'd probably be in jail for killing people, for killing men. Seriously.
well, someone asked, do you guys have any other hobbies other than the sushi, drinking, and your music?
Building model ships in bottles.
Really, you do that?
No, I don't.
Fuck, I was gonna be like, that's
I
so
really-
awesome.
I would. Did I say it seriously enough?
Yes, I was like, oh, that's fucking awesome.
I tried it one time, but it was like a lot of work. It's like it's really. You got to build the whole little ship in there.
Eating, don't you?
That's not a hobby.
For you, it's
You like
Shut up.
biking?
That's a lifestyle. Fuck yeah, I love
Chuck,
reading
you
books.
like-
Yeah, oh yeah.
Wrestling.
No. Yes, my favorite hobby is sleeping. Just curling up with a
You
blanket
old motherfucker.
and my cat. And
That
just
is so-
sleeping for 14 hours.
That's my favorite meme. I thought you said you were interesting. I said, no, I'm into resting.
What's your hobby, Misty?
My hobby is work and school and arguing with everyone on Facebook when I get drunk. Yeah, I like arguing with people. I just can't like shut the fuck up sometimes. Just like, actually.
What's your favorite topic to argue or debate on?
history? But we're not allowed to.
Geology.
We're not allowed to talk about those. So as I'll go.
Whoa, no. Here we're allowed to talk about anything.
We've agreed that we won't get him started on history or geology.
What part of history does he get
Oh
in?
God, all of it. It'll just go on forever. God.
Well, we can talk about geology a little bit, just like asked about.
Yes,
Obsidian.
actually, speaking of geology,
Yeah.
yeah, geology's cool.
So why is the band called Obsidian, Missy?
Oh, because I took I'm a geology and anthropology major at FAU, and I took a hunk of obsidian from one of my sample testing kits for the Mohs testing, and I went to town on my arm, and then this asshole and a few other assholes had me Baker acted.
Yeah, I'm
Were
such
you
a dick.
dick?
I'm such a dick.
Well, obsidian's been used as a weapon in many cultures.
Yeah,
So,
there's the anthropological aspect of it too, and that's how I knew about that. It's volcanic glass, so I could just smash it and just go to town. Like it doesn't.
was it just because you were like, "Fuck it, let's see what happens"? Were you depressed? Like,
I was depressed. I was trying to do it. I was going to town on my arm. Like it was gross.
Yeah, I mean, I think one of the things about Obsidian is, I mean, like maybe some other people are in bands. Like it's an outlet that helps us deal with like our mental states to a certain degree. Like, I mean, definitely for Missy, certainly for me,
Me
to
too.
a certain degree of those.
Definitely.
Oh,
guys.
throw me in. I mean, as I've repeated recently a lot, I have Asperger's. I'm high functioning Asperger's. Hence the reason why I say ridiculous shit that people are like, I can't believe you said. Well, that's what's on my head. Fuck it.
Yeah, dude, no, and I mean, listen, then that's the thing about like music to me is like, at the end of the day, like playing in a band is all about creative expression and what it means to you. And like seriously, music keeps me sane. It does. Like playing music keeps my head in a certain space that just makes me not fall off the fucking ladder. You know?
Okay, so I'm gonna kind of twist that up with what you said. Is there a song or artist who has a couple that people be like, I can't, like, if you told them right now what that song is, that they'd be like, I can't believe he listens to that.
Man, I
'Cause
don't.
I'll throw it out there. Like mine, like most people will be fucking shocked. I actually fucking enjoy, like, I'll go fucking to town listening to Miley Cyrus Party in the USA. Like, that's like a guilty pleasure, man. I don't give a fuck. Like, if that comes on, I'm rocking it out.
Good
Like,
song's a good song. I mean, like, and the other thing is you can't. I mean, music means something to specific people, and maybe it doesn't. And maybe it's just the time and place you hear that song, or who you are as a person that when you hear that song that makes it really important to you. I fucking love ABBA, dude. I mean, like,
Dancing Queen.
I like Gimme by ABBA. A man after midnight wants somebody.
That-
That's like my
Gimme Gimme's not bad.
that's like my
favorite is
jam.
Waterloo, though, but
Stacey
because
Q.
she compares.
You want to watch Mamma Mia sometime?
Yeah, totally.
Can we do that?
Yeah, totally.
No, you gotta do a marathon. Mamma Mia and Mamma Mia 2.
There's a Mamma Mia too.
There's a Mamma Mia too?
Yes,
I'm
there
an
is.
ABBA fan. I don't know what.
I knew this. We should do it. We should definitely get in a marathon going.
Withholding information from me, huh?
Yeah.
One time we had a band movie night, but we watched Caligula instead. I don't know. I mean, look, music's music. I just like, you know, like I said before, like I know a lot of friends who like only listen to like kind of one genre of music. I was like, listen to everything, dude. Like there's valuable stuff everywhere. So yeah, I don't know. Like yeah.
Yeah, music's
Yeah,
pretty
like
much
I'm-
about mood and everything. And like, if you listen to one kind of music, you're just chasing that one specific mood and everything. And like, if you're listening to metal or something, you're like trying to chase that aggressive mood. But like, what if you're super aggressive and you need to find something to bring you back? You want to listen to something much more calm or some shit.
I just
like
love
that.
Tom Waits personally. Like I don't care what movie he's in. Either I'll watch it. I'll watch Mystery Men because he's in it.
People are asking, so what's your regular 9-to-5 day type job?
I own a screen printing company and graphic design company. I design and print posters and T-shirts and stickers and other merchandise for not only bands but all kinds of other businesses.
Let's go to Missy last.
This
This is the most
Let's come to
interesting.
Missy's last. 'cause
Yeah,
it is the most interesting.
I'll go to mine now. I pretty much work for a very boring.
Anyone
tech
need a
company.
beer or anything real quick while I'm up?
I'll take a Modelo. See how boring it is. He needs.
It's so
I work for a
boring. They already
very
lost interest.
very boring tech
I don't even know what it
company,
is you do still.
And I do internet marketing for them.
Dan works for a tech company and does computer stuff.
Yes. Okay.
I'm a registered nurse.
You know, that's why Kathy's the glue of this band. 'Cause she's a nurse.
I'm a nurse. I'm a telemetry nurse. I won't say where I work. I don't put it on my profile. But yes, I'm a telemetry nurse.
Yeah. Well,
Yeah, she saved me from dying on tour.
Right. Yes, we were on tour.
We were doing laundry finally.
Yes, we were doing laundry. What
after like
city was that?
too
North
many
Carolina?
days
This
of
was
not doing
Nashville.
laundry.
Okay, we were in North Carolina doing laundry on our tour, and he was passing out, almost
I
dead.
was walking
He was dead.
Walking into the Chinese buffet, and I grabbed some food, and I'm like, oh my god! And it was like 60 degrees out, and I was sweating like a motherfucker. And I just sat down at the table, and everyone was like, "Are you all right?" And I'm like, "No, I think I'm gonna pass out." And the Kathy's like, "All right, I got this." Brought me back into the car, turned the car on, went into the grocery store, got me some water, some bread,
Vitamins.
some vitamins,
Everything
and
everything I knew I had to get, I got, and I brought him back to life.
yeah, I was back to life, and I was good to go for the rest of the tour. So
You know, sometimes
You're welcome.
yeah, thank you.
being
so
on
much.
I'm gonna use the
tour,
restroom.
being on tour, you don't eat very well. You don't sleep enough. You
Dense.
drink too much.
And Missy
really,
don't
that was
eat
just
very
like Dent's problem. He just he
Why do you eat on tour when you can just drink?
It's true. I mean, malt liquor is just like food essentially, but you have to eat a vegetable every third day, at least one.
I ate a vegetable. I ate avocado without a spoon, so I'm just like nah. And also I ate a cucumber and
Also, I ate a cucumber, a whole one.
yeah, I ate a cucumber just like nah, like a pickle.
I don't wait. Where?
When we were in the car, when Missy was trying to get Chuck to get drunk on apples with him.
That was good times. Good times, you guys. Yeah. So Dent anyway, Dent got sick. Kathy took care of him, as Kathy tends to do for all of us when we get sick. Didn't she also cure you? Didn't you have like a little infection in your hand, Dent, that she had to take care of?
Oh yeah. But towards the end of tour, I was playing too much with my middle finger on my fretting hand, and rather than like going straight onto the finger, I was playing a little bit to the side, so it started getting infected. And I was like, yeah, whatever. I'm just gonna drink through it. But then we got back, and it was completely infected. And I was trying to squeeze it to pop it, but it got worse. So she just had to get like iodine, and one of those things that you use at the hospital to
A lancet.
to get a little bit
Lancet.
of blood out of your finger. She had to get that, and she had to squeeze it out, and then we had to play a show that night. So I had a fucking completely mummified finger up to here while I was having to play a show.
And that's why Kathy's the glue that holds this band together.
Yeah, and she saved us. So
Literally and figuratively.
yes. But back to the question, Missy, what is your day job?
What do you do for a job?
I'm a crematory operator.
What does that mean?
I burn bodies.
Is that the most goth job ever?
No.
What's a more goth job than that?
The
Being a bat.
mortician.
Being a
Which he also has done, right?
Yeah.
mortician just
Yeah.
Aren't
That's
you just
one
at
of-
the crematory because it's a better option?
it's
more
easier
work?
and more money.
Right on.
That's exactly why.
Oh, there's also a lot of paperwork involved in that, isn't there?
Oh, with our company, yeah, it's all
Well,
bureaucracy.
you guys are like fucking. I know there's a lot of oversight. You guys got to document. There's a maximum number of
everything.
burns you can do.
It's a very sensitive
Oh,
thing.
there's no maximum number of burns we could do. We're actually,
Oh.
I believe, the largest crematory in the nation, or at least on the East Coast, Gold Coast Crematory. We had an adventure today where I had to pull a body out that was half burnt because one of the machines broke and put it in another one. So that was a fun thing to do today.
How does that make you feel when it comes to like bacon?
Yummy. I'm not opposed to cannibalism, honestly. Like, like
Long
at work,
pig.
I'm like, it smells really good here right now. Like that's probably like one of the better smells that happen is the cremation process.
Well, I think it's the same thing with like probably Kathy's job. Like my sister and my dad were both nurses, and they would just tell me about like things they had to experience in the ER, and I was like, oh my god, I would never be able to deal with that. But like, yeah, I guess like you do it after a while. It just becomes like like the job you do, I guess.
Like I personally can never do Kathy's job because like they're still alive and they're pooping on themselves and stuff, and you got to put catheters and whatnot in them. Like, I don't want to
I
touch
do a
them.
lot.
I don't
do
mind
a
the poop
lot.
when they're dead for some reason.
I'm also a charge nurse, so I have to deal with the whole entire unit, and it's very, very stressful. So
I apologize. Did you say what? Where you work in the hospital? Not what hospital, but are you in
Yes.
the ER or?
no, I'm a telemetry nurse, which has to do with we put the
leads.
EKG. I check the patient's heart activity overnight, and
So you work in
everything.
like a cardiac unit?
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah.
she gives us bodies.
I do.
I'm post med. That's what I like to say, really. Oh, I'm caught. This fell.
So wait, you climb power lines?
No, cell towers.
Cell towers. Those are crazy, dude.
It's awesome.
All right, you're buckled in, right?
I'm tied off, not buckled in.
Oh my god, how tall are those things?
It depends. You could be anywhere from a short height would be like 80 feet. A really high for cell phones would be like 220.
Yeah, those massive like
And
towers
then
you see from 95.
if it's for straight data, you could do 500.
Okay, yeah, and when you're getting up there, aren't those things moving back and forth?
Oh yeah, they sway.
Oh my god, dude. Yeah, I like I have vertigo. Like if I get too high, like things get dizzy for me. So I'm always amazed by like people that can go up that high and deal with it.
Well, it depends on the tire type. Like monopoles.
Because
sway-
you're just climbing a ladder up it, right?
Oh no, sometimes it's just it's just bolts that are
Oh my god.
screwed in.
And so when you have to like hook like every few feet, you just
It depends. Some of them have cable grabs. Some are ladders.
oh my god.
But like monopoles sway back and forth like a teeter totter.
Yeah.
Which, if you get a big guy up there like my brother Justin, who brought me into the industry, he would fucking jump on one side and that bitch would sway 2 feet this way
my
and then come
God.
back.
Jesus.
And then you have self-supporters don't really sway at all except for the very high end.
Uh-huh.
They're pretty stable. And then guide wires, which are stacked real thin and have
Those are the
wire,
ones that have like draw wires off them to like hold them in.
they fucking like go back and forth like a slinky. Like different sections are swaying in different directions.
Oh my god.
So looking like a 500, like the Homestead Tower, which is one of the largest in Florida, which is 1,800 feet tall.
That's by the airbase, right?
No, it's in the middle of Homestead,
Okay.
fucking next to nothing. But that bitch fucking, you could see that bitch fucking one section's out like this, the other section's bowed out like that, and it just fucking snakes all the way the fuck up.
So I guess you're not afraid of heights, right?
Oh, I'm terrified of heights.
Yeah.
No, I'm terrified. Actually,
Respectful of heights.
I'll make you laugh. I'm terrified to work on a ladder. Like, I completely freak out working off of a ladder.
One time I fell off a ladder and dislocated my shoulder, and I was like, I wonder how many people die falling off a ladder every year.
More people than
A lot.
thinking.
Like 8,000 people in the U.S. die every year falling off a ladder.
That ain't that much.
What
There's
about
a
with
lot
the
of-
what about with
Bright
the
line
coconut?
kills more.
Hey, what about with the coconut? I heard a lot of people die with that too.
Oh, yes, there is a certain amount of people that die from a coconut hitting their head.
Being in Florida, I've never had someone come in that's died via coconut. And I've been working in the
Bro,
funeral
I'm
industry
super
for over
scared,
5
when
years.
At my apartment, when you gotta go to the cardio place.
Bright line though.
Yeah, bright line.
Yeah.
Like.
I just
40
feel that's
people a
natural
month.
selection at a certain point though.
What about a cold snap and they're dying because an iguana fell out of a tree and hit them?
Dude, oh my god, every year when we have a cold snap, I always like search the local news for the one article where this little old lady or little old man finds a frozen iguana outside their house and decides to bring it into their house to
Oh.
warm it up and puts it in the tub and then runs water on it. And like, dude, yeah, because there's like a very, like, I think it's like 67 degrees or below. They're like,
So they cook them pretty much?
no, it wakes them up. Because it's like they're cold blooded, so as soon as their body temperature, like there's only like a 4 or 5 degree like window in there. They don't know because they're like, oh, this poor iguana, I'm gonna take care of it. Let me bring it inside. You know, every year there's a hurricane. I realize how many people have just moved here. But yeah. So like the iguana wakes up and it's like a wild animal like in their house, and, like, claws them up and stuff. It's crazy.
So how many times? We have a question. How often do you guys rehearse?
Like twice a week, I think.
Usually twice a week.
Twice a week, ideally. Yeah.
And do you guys have any pet peeves when it comes to band life?
All of them.
All of them.
People that are late.
If you've never
To
been in a
practice.
band, don't do it.
But, I tried to explain this to my friend Patrick one time. Being in a band is like having a headache all the time. I don't know. Like, playing music is really, really rewarding, so you obviously have to deal with the negative elements of it to get the positive out of it. But band life is just something that's very hard to explain to people. I explain it to my normal friends, like people that aren't in bands, and they look at me like I'm stupid. Like, I explain to them, like, yeah, me and three other adults are going to load like 300 pounds of equipment into our cars and drive them an hour away to sit in like a dank club all night to play for like 30 minutes and get $30 each and have to drive home at like 3 a.m. You explain that to normal people, they look at you like you're stupid. I either get it or you don't, I guess, right?
It's because we are stupid.
It's rewarding, but it's not not everybody gets it, man.
It's like having a hobby and pretty much like it's like having a hobby of sports or some shit.
It's like a hobby that's a full-time job, though. too.
Yeah, hobby of
Like, it's
sports.
like, fuck.
yeah.
Like, you don't get paid for it a lot of the time, like, especially like earlier on.
No,
Like
Yeah,
now we're
yeah,
kind of
for
like
sure not.
writing good, but
Yeah.
fuck.
I don't mean to exclude Kathy from this question, but since this is her first band, she doesn't have the experience. But in the previous band, have you ever been in a band with a person that you just rubbed you wrong? Like you just could not deal with them. Like you were like, oh my god, like because you guys do spend a lot of time together.
Oh yeah, no, especially when you're on tour, man. Like if you're like not on tour, then like yeah, you see them, you see your other band members once or twice a week or at shows. But when you're on tour, you're trapped with them in like this 8-foot space, and every personality, every aspect of their personality becomes like magnified, and you eventually learn to hate like how they chew. Or the sound they make when they're breathing. But yeah, I mean, like, I don't know. It's, again, you sacrifice it. Like, it's the things that, like, you know, the negatives that make the positives possible.
Fuck Missy.
I'm having fun here. Yeah, I want to like go back and forth with Chuck, but no, like not this band, but other band, and we've had other members too, but they're not around anymore. Like they've never really, I guess, like gotten on like the worst case scenario. But there was one other band, the folk punk band I was in. There was one member that he was like smoked pot all the fucking time. And, like, Dent and I are drunks. Like, we don't smoke pot. We're more like, kind of like, we got to go to the show. Yeah, pretty much. Yeah, guy.
Can't chill at all. You
But,
gotta get
yeah, we
fucking
can't
crazy.
chill. We have no chill. Zero chill. And we're very aggressive, too, especially in that band. We're
Oh, yeah,
getting
that
in
one.
a lot of
fuck yeah.
fights.
There's only way.
Yeah, so one of our members in that band, he was like the band leader, too. So he was with no like other previous band experience and just like trying to like, this is how it needs to be. This is how
Wasn't
it goes.
he
Like,
in your band before I met you, though?
No, it's like like a middle school band.
Middle school. Okay.
Like we never played any shows. We played in the garage and we were like new metal or something lame like that. Like
Yeah.
and we thought we were punk, but we weren't. Yeah, I just remember like he would like be like, I was so irritated with him. He would just be like walking in front of me, like I think we're in Gainesville.
Yeah.
And he was just walking like all stoned as shit, just like slow paced movement, like kind of like a tourist in New York, and like and everyone's yelling at. And it's like, come on, man, we need to go to the next fucking city, like pick up the pace, just like oh, it's so cool here. And that was just like, it's like when you date someone, it's like, yeah, this is over now. They're just like them eating food's pissing me off.
Yeah.
I don't know. I've been in situations where I love all my fellow band members, like this band. Then I've been in situations where I hate another band member, and sometimes it actually works to your advantage. Like hating the other band member makes you work harder.
Well, you get that like Fleetwood Mac dynamic that way
There
too.
you go. Exactly, dude.
Yeah.
Totally.
There was this one time that I was playing in my in the last band where I was playing drums, and me and my friend Frank got into a super heated argument because he was talking shit to one of my friends, and I was like, "Don't fucking talk to her that way." And we went in and we played a fucking set. Like he was playing bass, I was playing drums, and we were staring each other the fuck down. And we played the best that we played in like months because of that. I love it.
Like the fact like I can't fuck up because I won't let it down if I do.
Yeah.
Like,
You just want to show the other person up, yeah.
Or also you just want to make sure that the other person fucks up before you do, so you can talk shit to them. So
Now, like I said, I listened to your Bandcamp from Swamp, and I know I'm probably going to offend somebody in this group. Sorry about that. Not sorry. My biggest pet peeve with that album was I wanted to hear you more, and the way they laid the tracks down, you were kind of drowned out by the musical tracks. That killed me because I'm like I'm almost so invested in it, and then I'm like, I just want to hear what you're saying so bad, clearly above the music.
yeah.
And it was killing me. Like, for something like that, would you ever consider re-recording those tracks?
No, definitely. Those are all like pretty much like all the EPs we're doing are pretty much just like multiple demos that we're just self-releasing because that's how it is now. Definitely like live too. Earlier on, when I didn't have lyrics, I would just like mumble nonsense and I just drown it in reverb. And that was like the biggest complaint. Like I can't really like hear you and stuff. I'm not really saying anything. But with that one, yeah, definitely. Like even listening back to it too, like I don't really. I was really drunk when I did that, and I don't really like sing that way anymore either. I hope I got a little bit better and more confident, but a lot with that was just kind of like trying to really like figure it out, and really that was kind of like my own insecurity why it's so drowned out in reverb and lower in the mix.
Because
I wanted it that
like
way.
I really like got into the mood of the songs. Like I was like, oh my god, like, but I wanted to hear you sing. Like,
This is why you got to see us live. This is
and
why you
also,
got to see
I
us
mean,
live.
the second EP I think has more Missy. It's like the vocals are a little bit more up front.
Yeah, but I'm like screaming a lot in that too, which is like honestly like my safety dance. Like I go to like, oh, I can't sing. I'm just gonna scream as I got that down.
well, no, because like, you know, like I said, I broke my normal rule. I normally don't get too into the band, but like I got sucked in. Like I was like, oh my god, I love the music you were putting out. And don't get me wrong, I'm fucking terrible. Like one of your songs, like you were singing, and then you could hear the like a backup vocal line, and I was like, oh my god, I'm fucking jamming out. I'm making my poor climber, the guy that's working with me, listen as I'm fucking. Yeah, I was like, fuck, it took me back to my younger years, like when I first was hearing, fucking like the Clash, like fucking. I'm like,
Yeah, high compliment, dude.
I'm
That's
like,
a very high compliment.
I'm like, I'm fucking in my 20s getting listened to it. And it's like I'm hearing you sing, and then it's like I already remember what the fuck the backup singers say, but they're like, bah, bah, I'm like, yeah, fuck yeah, and I was like all in, like,
24 victims lost their lives today.
well, no,
Is
dude,
that the one?
I think it was Living Dead probably, right? I think they're really.
I'm a little
That one
drunk.
we
and-
recorded already, and that one's got a lot of me like
Yeah,
yelling all over it.
No, I mean, dude, that's a great compliment. I mean, like, no, there's like been so much music I listened to that like I would sing along with, like screaming because it just impacted me so much. To me, that's the ultimate compliment.
No, and like I said, I'm in Miami, fucking in rush hour traffic at fucking 9 in the morning, and instead of fucking worrying about the fact that it's stop and go, I'm like fucking just going, fuck yeah, like I got in it, like,
Dude, well, that's the ultimate compliment that it connected to you on that level, dude. Absolutely.
you know, and it took me back to like, even though I'm driving the truck and I'm blasting this with the windows rolled down, like I'm fucking 18 making my fucking, you know, playing fucking the music in my truck on my way to fucking my job
Dude,
type.
yeah, that-
Like, and it's like, and then I'm like, I feel bad because like I'm so into this, but I want more. Like, I could so be deeper into this, and I'm not, and I feel bad because I got a complaint, but I still love this. Like,
Sounds like we need more content.
I like, yeah, I really actually like criticism too. Like I know definitely with vocals, I definitely like drowned me out too. But it's also like it's the same thing like where you want to like print the lyrics. And I was like, these lyrics fucking suck.
Well-
like I'm probably like my biggest hater, honestly.
no, like,
Yeah.
honestly, like I was like talking to friends of mine who produce and lay down tracks. And I'm like, give me the fucking software. Like I was ready to fucking rip your entire album up, every song by song, rip it apart and relay down the tracks so I could have what I wanted to listen
I will
to.
actually give you the files to it too.
Because
So,
like I was like
if you want,
so
if you- I'm
into it.
that.
Remix.
Yeah, remix the shit out of it. I'll give it to
I
you.
was like, oh my, I'm gonna throw it into my mixer. I'm gonna fucking separate all the channels, fucking all the instruments. Like I was into it, and like that's what I'm looking for. Like, you know, you guys have all listened. I know Kathy, like Winterborn for a long time was like my anthem. Like whatever headspace I was in when I needed, I'd play Winterborn, and like it just reminded me, like,
That's like Disintegration for me, like specifically like Disintegration, the song. Like,
you know,
by the Cure.
yeah, by the Cure.
you know, for me, or you know, London's Calling from the Clash. Like,
Oh yeah.
or fucking, you know, Social Distortion. You know, like I have songs that like just depending on my headspace that bring me back.
Well, no, Ashing here, but no, dude. I mean, that's.
You know, and like I like, I really, you know, I like everybody's music that comes on. If I didn't like your music, I wouldn't buy. But like, I really fucking liked your music. Like it, because I said I know I'm rambling quite a bit, but music that puts me into not just a headspace but a mood and can adjust that it's not out there often.
No, dude, it's the most valuable part of music,
You know,
right?
I mean,
we listen to music because it makes us feel a certain way.
You know, it put me back into fucking listening to the Rolling Stones Paint It Black.
Yeah.
high praise, man.
You know, like I like
remember that when the drums kicking on that song.
you know,
Yeah.
you guys did that. Like, and there's not a lot of,
Singing it.
there's a lot of local bands that I like their music. Like, if I'm in that mood, they can help amplify it. But there's not a lot of musical artists out there who can set the headspace and set that mood and ambiance, regardless of where I'm at. And like, you guys are amazingly talented at doing that.
Thank you.
Like-
Thank you. Yeah, we really appreciate that
No,
for sure, man.
No, like, I'm not, like, it's not common. Like, the greatest artists out there can do that, and you guys are musically talented, capable of that. Like, that's why I was so fucking, like, glad you guys were willing to come up, because, like, it does it. There's not a lot of people out there that can do that. They play what they, there's a lot of guys that play what they play, and it's great headspace to be in when you're in that. But there's just something magical about
Dude,
some.
Absolutely, it's an undescribable thing, man. Like when it connects, and it's like what's that line in that Operation Ivy song? Sometimes music's more than just sound; it's inspiration.
Like, and I know it's not my place to put it, but what I'm waiting for is Kathy to set her keyboard to piano and open a song that way, or there to be an interlude like that where it switches.
You want to do that?
Yeah, we're gonna
It's coming. Don't worry,
Like-
it's coming.
Also, we want Kathy to sing more.
I,
She's just getting into singing.
Oy
now.
vey, ay gavolt.
I,
Los dios, míos.
I
Let
wanted
me
to,
get you.
now
Like,
that
los,
we're,
los
now
dios.
that we're
Bullying.
talking about that, I wanted to clear something up because I've gotten a lot of messages in regards to the new EP and the female vocalist that's on there.
His other name was actually Rachel.
It actually is not me, because a lot of people think it's me singing. They're like, "Oh my God, you're singing! That's great!" Blah blah. It isn't me. It is our former member Rachel. She was the one that is the female vocalist for our new EP that came out. So yeah, I just wanted to say that it's actually not me. The boys want me to sing, but
Yes, we're trying
I've
to
been
encourage-
trying. I'm practicing, but I don't know.
Well,
Let's
like
see. Let's see.
I honestly want like a background choir in the band, or it's just like funky as fuck. Like I'm really into like Princeton Revolution.
Yes.
So like,
Prince.
Yeah.
so like the EP we just released, even though it's like super punk rock and death rock, we had 2 keyboards, 2 guitars, and that's kind of like the dynamic I want. Just like a whole lot of shit going on.
Oh, that
pretty
goes.
much.
So with that, like, have you thought of adding a string instrument into the mix?
The synth kind of covers like you're talking about like a violin or something.
Or a
like that?
cello?
That'd be cool. I'm not opposed to it. I haven't because with the synth like there's a lot of range with like the synthesizer that especially like now what you
Yeah.
can
Oh,
do.
boy, technology can do a lot, but
ideally like 2 synths. I don't think like symphonic stuff would really like be like a priority, but I wouldn't be opposed to it at all.
just like I said, like I like listening to what you guys play. Like I said, and I could see you guys coming out with something new that uses a string instrument, whether it's a cello
I
or
play
a
upright
violin,
bass too,
with a
so-
violin, and not necessarily for like the entire song, but like an interlude in between,
Yeah.
or like just changing up the tempo for,
Right.
like I could just like I get that feel like there's times some of your songs I'm like, oh my God, they're gonna come out with something like that's gonna
Yeah.
just flip your head.
Well, I am really into like Tom Waits and like Nick Cave and the Bad Seeds, so it's like going towards like kind of this like odd like roots sort of like orchestral thing. I'm definitely not opposed. I'm also really into Oingo Boingo too, so I'm definitely not opposed to like doing that, and stuff like that probably will come out. Right now, it's just kind of focusing on like mainly like what's convenient for us. We're not really like actively looking for new members currently, but there will be a point where like certain things need to be filled and like artistic expression with more to our utility that we could use.
Yeah, right now, pretty much, like ever since we pretty much got the band stripped down to the 4 of us, we realized that this is the lineup that's super serious, and we're really hesitant to add anyone else into it because like we have to find the right person, we have to like vet them for a long time, but also like we know this dynamic works. Like everyone is perfect at their instruments. I hope that they think I'm perfect at mine, but yeah, but yeah, like we don't want to throw in another wrench to throw in something that could possibly be a wrench to
and it's
our
difficult to find
artistic impression.
it's difficult to find a punk rock cello player too.
Yeah,
Not a very common.
Oh no, if you want string players, like Dent and I know like string
we
players.
do know string players. Yeah,
But like there is like the seriousness element, and that was kind of the one thing when we're like a 6-piece is like kind of why one of the reasons why like on my end anyways, why I feel like they're not around because like they weren't willing to commit to it like everyone else has. And Kathy's like the newest member and stayed up all night learning all the songs pretty much, like drilling. Like
yeah, her dedication was
like
fucking
like I've never seen
ridiculous
dedication
when
like
she got-
that
when she
from
got
someone that's
into the
never been in like
band,
in a
so.
band before, just like with like a career already too, and like going back to school for her masters and just like delving in hard. And that's kind of what we want, like if new members were to join essentially. But yeah, the more instrumentation that we could pull off, that like, you know, it's another like it's more utility that we could definitely work with.
Yeah, it's interesting to hear that. I mean, you know, sometimes just being the 4 members in the band, we don't have we lack a certain objectivity that other people can offer us. So it's good to hear that. It's totally good to hear that.
Now, is there something about each other that you greatly appreciate that you may not have told each other? Like, no, but like you just said, only because you mentioned you sound like you very much appreciated Kathy's dedication to learning everything. I don't know if you've ever told her that before.
Kathy, I don't know if I haven't, like, Kathy's like the most dedicated
I
one
tell
in the
Kathy
band,
that all the
honestly.
time.
Like, Kathy's
Yeah,
like the
she's the
golden
best.
member of the band,
Yeah.
honestly. Like,
You know, but is there like something about each other that you guys would be willing to share right now about each other you may not have said or you should say more often?
Missy, I like your hats.
I rarely wear hats, though.
I don't know. I think
Because I'm too lazy to charge my hair, tease my hair.
I think by this point we've probably expressed all the things we like about each other to each other. Like
What we hate about each other.
oh, and
Hey,
most
Chuck,
definitely-
I like that you play drums so I don't have to.
Dan, I like your overall attitude.
You
and
guys
your
are my
hair.
popoyitos.
Yeah, I don't think there's anything that at this point we haven't expressed to each other about we would love or hate about each other.
Would you like to do it on a live stream?
I won't,
I
I
don't know
won't
what
say
else I can
anything
say.
to Missy because
I
it will
love you
make his ego
guys.
too big.
Well, let me ask you guys, change this up. Is there anything like you guys have like suggested and like everyone's like, what the fuck is wrong with you? You're like, well, I thought it was a good idea at the time, and everyone's like, no, like
Every idea Chuck has is like that.
I
I
never make any suggestions because they would always be shot down by Missy. So yeah. Other than that one song that we wrote together, like Missy says that me and Kathy wrote that, but
No,
you
well,
wrote it as well, and
no.
Chuck wrote it as well.
Well, I know.
Yeah.
Listen, I think regardless of our distinct personalities and stuff, if somebody brings something worthwhile to the table, I think we're all willing to like listen to it and engage it for sure. I mean, not only because of like, you know, the musical thing, but also just because I think we respect each other and like wouldn't like really shoot each other down too badly. But obviously the person has to come with like a solid idea that we can all like kind of like, you know, like have kind of work
get
fleshed out
behind
enough.
and work with.
Right. That has to be fleshed out enough that we can understand like the concept they're trying to bring to it. But yeah, I would hope that like there isn't anything that any of us would bring that the rest of us go no. I'd feel like almost anything any of us would bring would like have a certain validity.
If it's a serious idea from you, then yes. But sometimes I don't know if they're serious or not.
Look, half the stuff I suggest is a joke. I'm sorry. You know, maybe
Oh, okay. So with that, what's the most outlandish thing you've ever suggested as a joke? I want to hear this now.
No, we actually did the thing that he suggested as a joke.
What was that? Tell.
All right, so Chuck's other band at the time, Galore, their guitarist got arrested, and they were supposed to play a show with us. So what ended up happening was we as Obsidian went by the name Who Broke the Sink and had Wyatt from Loser Lounge. Hey Wyatt, I love you, Wyatt.
The singer of Galore and yeah, Chuck. Die
And
High
new
now.
singer Die High too.
I
Yeah.
thought it would be funny if, since there wasn't another band that could play that night, that we just did kind of jams and that Wyatt would read poetry over it. And I thought it would be funny, and I really didn't.
Chuck said that Wyatt had a book of poetry. I talked
he
to Wyatt
told me,
afterwards. He's like, I don't have a
He
fucking
didn't.
book of poetry. What the fuck is-
It's just Chuck coming up with bad ideas that he could bully Wyatt into. Chuck also wanted Chuck. I got a good one.
Yeah,
Because I always
just
remember
wait to see.
Black Pikachu.
So at one point, I thought it would be cool if I dressed up like a Pikachu. Again, this is a joke.
A black, like inverted colors or something, or it's like a goth Pikachu or something.
Yeah, because it would be Goth Pikachu.
Just real quick, go back. The cover that was requested would you do Dark Entries by Bauhaus?
God,
Oh fuck yeah!
Dark Entry's the best, man. The best is like the one part where David J does like the background vocals where he just only does it one time. He goes, "Dark Entries," and then it doesn't come back again. No, he only does it one time, and then it comes back at the chorus. He does it again. I love Bauhaus. They're so weird.
So, question is when it comes to the recording sessions, how stressful does it get, or does the process go pretty smooth with you guys because of how much band practice you guys do?
Me, I don't know. Yeah, as long as I've done it, it's still recording is stressful.
always sucks.
Mixing more than recording, but recording is like, when you're playing live shows, there's a live energy, and small mistakes are easily forgotten in the whole thing, you know. When you're recording though, everything has to be like exactly right because you're not going to get another chance to re-record those elements. So recording is always stressful. I like the recording process more than I like the mixing process, but both of them are like, you know, again, necessities to get from point A to point B.
You like the recording more than the mixing?
Yeah, mixing's so boring. You just sit there.
I like it that part. I actually like the recording. I'm the weirdo though. Is like I love the recording.
Yeah.
I'm like went to school for that.
Well,
so.
yeah. Well, yeah.
Yeah, you had to love it.
So when you guys, what is your obviously I'm guessing you guys play an initial and record that. So what you guys are doing? Do you guys do individual instrument recordings for the tracks?
Last recording was what, guitar, bass, drums at one time.
So it's probably always be. It depends who like is producing us. Like last one, we started being we're starting it off with like Fuzz Baby, but then there were some issues with Rachel, the other singer, and Robbie, who with Fuzz Baby, so we weren't able to really finish with him. But even with that, it was kind of like I was like being more hands off. Normally I like to be like hands on, so I'm kind of like stepping back a bit more. Like the first EP, like A Swamp, was pretty much just me, and that was part by part to a click track. And I put like a skeletal track down to each thing, like the bass should be playing this. The synthesizers I just programmed in essentially, and then we just recorded guitar, drums, and vocals and bass with it. This one was like no click track, live pretty much for both guitars, drums, and bass, and then we dubbed in vocals and the 2 keyboards after.
Okay.
So
you
it
laid those
varies.
tracks down, and then
It all depends on like who the producer is and how it's going to go, like who's producing it,
and how
what
much
they
time
wanna
you have
do.
in the studio as
Exactly.
well. So going kind of jumping all around, you guys have played multiple places. Do you individually have a venue that you just love playing at, either because of the sound quality or the fucking who does your sound, or just because the crowd that shows up? Like, is there that spot that you are always excited to play at?
I mean,
Russ's.
I mean,
yeah.
I'm not. I don't. You don't have to go into the reason, but like that venue you like that's the venue.
Man, I don't
Las
know.
Rosas.
So many like
Yeah. To
Las
me,
Rosas is the biggest local venue.
yeah.
that we
To
love
me,
play at.
Las Rosas is the one place that has it most together. There's a consistent crowd. The sound guys are very attentive and very and good at their job. Although I tend to think that it differs. I mean, you can have a great show at the worst venue, and you can have the worst show at the greatest venue, just depending on how it goes. But I mean, as I would go through. I mean, we love Poorhouse, we love Losers Lounge, we love Churchill's, we love Las Rosas, we love I mean, all those places definitely, to me anyway, have a certain cachet. But there's definitely certain nights where it was better at this one place than it was something else.
There's look. You could play, as we all know.
Yeah.
You could play a venue you've never played at, and just everything falls in place. But there's that one venue that like feels like home, regardless of
Yeah.
whether it might sound
I
like
don't
shit.
want to say Churchill's, but it's it's
Well,
like
I
I
think
hate
Churchill's is more like because of
its
the
familiarity.
Yeah,
kind
we've
of.
been there so many times.
Well, I love like at Churchill's. I love when Rat Bastard does sound.
Absolutely,
Like I love that. Like it sounds awesome every time. Like even in like not if we don't even have like a monitor return to us. Like it's just like we know we're good. I'm always told that the sound's really good at Respectable Streets when we play, and I know it's great at Rosa's. Rosa's though, like I really hate the stage setup personally. Like it's just like, especially when like a 6-piece, it was like so crammed in. Yeah. But that was really my only gripe. But Rosa's also has like a built-in crowd, so you always like are playing the people kind of like Poorhouse. But luckily we have a pretty static like turnout of people coming to see us, so that's pretty good.
Well, when you guys play prop, request Sarah. She's
Yeah.
Oh, my other band,
totally.
I remember I was playing an upright bass, and that was a nightmare with feedback at every other place I played except for Propaganda. She was amazing.
No, and dude, it's sometimes it's the sound person.
I think it's from working with like Colostoma and Everyman that
Right, right.
helped that, but yeah.
Oh, it also affects who's been playing before and
Right.
Oh, am I saying something?
yeah.
Yeah.
What's your like? What's that venue that feels like home to you that you love playing, regardless of the crowd or just like you like playing there? You always.
Oh,
have
I
fun.
love Poorhouse because the bartenders hook it up.
There you go.
The
That's a
Shout out to
beautiful
the
thing.
Poorhouse.
They
Shout out to Tommy.
the
Shout out to
bartenders,
Steve.
the bartenders hook it up. Like even if it's like you play a show one night, you go there the next night, they hook you up the second night too. And also there's no admission, and you still get paid.
Yeah, and we've been hanging out at Poorhouse for so long. It does. I mean, I would imagine for most of us, it feels like our second home.
Yeah.
It's like the place, it's always we always end up at.
But
The
then
one
again,
problem-
on the topic of Churchill's, I like it because I don't have to bring a bass cab.
But like, was it Poorhouse? On Poorhouse, yeah, Poorhouse is like Poorhouse has like no cover, and that really helps. They pay out bands, and Poorhouse is great. The one thing that we're bad at is you have to like supply your own sound, and this is really on us. Is that we forget to bring all our like our PA system
fucking
and our
Halloween,
mics, our mic
it was
stands, and all that
awful.
fun. So that seems to be just us, like kind of in that like early panic that we talked about, like that pre-show anxiety, and just like we got to get over there now. And then like it's like 2 hours before the show even starts. But we're pretty bad at remembering what we need to bring in terms of Poorhouse.
Now, is there a band that you guys find yourself playing shows with often that you just know you're gonna have a good time because they're playing, they're on that fucking playbill with you guys?
Montreux.
Yeah, I think probably just from the experience of being in bands for like so long down here, there's definitely like bands that we just love because maybe we're not crazy about them musically, but we love them because of like the people that are in the bands and how long we've known them and that kind of stuff.
And who might
All
that
the
be?
V Words is like a band that we're constantly.
Yeah.
I don't want to butcher the name, so correct me, Kathy. Hijas de la
Hijas de la
Muerte. Like
Muerte.
we haven't played a
He
show
ho-
yet.
Yes,
But,
the
like,
your last podcast.
Yes.
I'm
Yeah.
really
Hijos de la
excited for
Muerte.
a show with them.
Yeah.
Like they've
I also like
Hijas de la Muerte.
them and also
I'm bringing it up
Laboratory.
right now.
They're great
Laboratory,
people, great
Ghost
friends.
Flower, Denudes,
Yeah.
the Coven.
The Coven, of course, Seven Shed.
Yeah,
there's a
that's all
couple of
bands
them.
that we've played with a lot that like, or a few times that like, I think we just have like a connection with as far as personality goes,
You guys just click.
Yeah. Well, yeah, we've known each other,
And you guys, after the shows, have beers together,
Yeah,
what have
yeah.
you. That's the fun in this, right? I mean,
Totally. I mean, yeah, the experiences you get out of this are probably the most valuable thing. I mean, like, because there's the financial compensation is not shit, so it really is just like the experiences that like make it worthwhile, I think.
Now, is there a venue you guys haven't played that you would love to play? Like, oh my god, I want to fucking play there.
The Masquerade. It's called Masquerade, right?
Masquerade,
Masquerade in Atlanta. Like I really want to play there.
Yeah.
Oh, that doesn't
Ball,
sound like a
Castle,
vampire themed
Castle.
place or anything.
Vampire Ball, the Castle.
The Castle in Tampa, definitely.
Yeah.
Crowbar in Tampa.
Also, obviously, like two places that we haven't played. probably 3 places that we haven't played that we want to play are Revolution, the Culture Room, and just pretty much any of the bigger venues. Like, we want to play there.
That's fucking.
Yeah.
So, is there anything you guys want to fucking ask? Because I've been asking you guys a shit ton of questions. I mean, the only thing you ask is what I do for a goddamn living. Is there anything you guys want to know about me? Like,
What are your hobbies?
Oh, obviously I do a podcast for a hobby. I'm a big time gamer. Yes, I'm a nerd.
PC or console?
Master Race PC.
Hell yeah, I'm with you on that.
Yeah, actually, I just built a whole new system. I'll show you after the podcast.
Fuck yeah.
Got
What games do you play?
right now, I play Rocket League and Modern Warfare.
Okay, cool.
Rocket League.
I'm an MMO nerd, so I'm one of those.
I loved MMOs, but today's MMOs just suck, in my
I'm
opinion.
having fun still.
Which MMO?
I really like Crash Bandicoot. That's the only video game I really like.
God damn you, old Chuck.
Currently, still WoW and FF14.
WoW Classic.
Actually, I'm not really a classic. I like current. Like, I know it's like everyone's like, you know, like all the classics are like, oh, it's so gutted now, but I like it. I really like the like raid mechanics and stuff currently, and like PvE. PvP not so much. PvP I'm like more like MOBAs and stuff like that, like League of Legends.
I love League of Legends.
So
It just, my favorite MMO of all time, which I refuse to play because I get
EverQuest
sucked
2?
in so bad. No, EVE Online.
oh yeah, I've never played that. That's it's Japanese, right?
No, Icelandic.
Really?
Yes, and
Eve.
it's the only game where if your ship gets blowed the fuck up, it's gone for life. And yeah, it'll suck you in, and it becomes a second job in and of itself. And
That's one of those right there.
it could cost a lot of money and get excessive very quickly. Woo! Yeah, I had back when I was playing, I had a three screen setup, multiple accounts. Ooh, just way too much. Really bad for a relationship.
Were you multi-boxing at all?
Oh, I multi-box. Yeah,
That's
three.
awesome. That's fucking awesome.
Yeah, 3 accounts.
You guys are
fucking-
probably like, what the fuck are you guys talking about?
I don't really do it.
Multi-boxing is where you like have multiple accounts going on at once. So
Oh.
you're like
Playing
running
like a
multiple characters pretty much is what you're
Yeah.
doing. It's cool.
That's
like,
cool.
Total nerd out. Yeah. So, did you guys think, like, is this the music you always wanted to play, or did you guys have a different genre that when you got into this that you wanted to play? Like, whether it was like an old school punk or heavy metal or folk. Like you guys said, you did a folk punk band. Like, did you ever think that this is where you would progress to?
I've always wanted to be in a band like this. Like, I mean, it's the death rock genre or whatever you want to call it is like been like, you know, like I said, that era of music from 77 to like around 83, that's always been like something I've always loved, and I always wanted to be in a band that played that kind of music. And I've just been in a lot of punk bands, but like not with anybody that wanted to like engage in this kind of like in this path, you know. So yeah, no, I've always wanted to play this kind of music. I love this kind of music.
yeah, for me, like it was, this is something I wanted to do, but I was like too afraid to do it because I figured it'd be like hated by everyone. Like, what the fuck is this shit? This isn't punk or metal like that you're like used to doing. When I did like Unity Rise though, like the kind of more like I wanted to be like more like rootsy as opposed to like folk punk specifically. I just kind of went the folk punk route, but mainly I wanted to kind of like, you know, like I said, I'm really like into roots music and like outlaw country and like old like 1930s like almanac singer type folk. But yeah, pretty much like I go like through like things like really this is like one genre I've really wanted to do for a long time, like kind of like the whole open-ended of like death rock and the post-punk aspects, like kind of I just kind of wanted to like do my thing, and I feel like this is finally it personally. So I'm loving this, honestly.
Yeah,
So
watching this dude with all the bands that we've been in and everything, like after that one guy that Missy said he hated being in a band with, like quit the band. We actually got that band back together pretty much on a request of one of our friends, but our idea was to do this at that point. This was probably like 2015 or something like that. And like when Unity Rise pretty much like wound down, like Missy was already like in our videos, like dressed like he is right now, but doing folk punk. It's like,
So
yeah.
I think I already know the answer to this, but here, come this way.
Bye, Chuck.
Bye, Chuck.
Bye, Chuck.
Bye.
Are you quitting?
Everyone can. We always do.
So, like I said, I believe I know the answer. But when you guys essentially dress for your shows, do you guys feel like you're putting on a false persona, or are you guys letting your inner persona out into the audience?
100% inner persona out to the audience. Like
Yeah.
I feel like I saw Missy doing this in Unity Rise. I'm like, what the fuck is this? And then like I joined this band, and I started wearing this. I'm like, I actually look good like this. Like I should be wearing this more and more often. So
Like
The-
the
the re-
granted, outside like I'll get
feel-
like
I feel
lazy.
so-
Like
yeah,
I'm not
so-
fucking putting on makeup or like this outfit and stuff. But like honestly, like I'm not playing. Like I'll put more like shit on that doesn't get in the way of like playing an instrument and stuff. Like the boa, like it was really hard to play a guitar with. Like this shit was, I can't see where I'm strumming at.
I
with
think
my-
technically that's called a mink stole, but
Oh, mixed. I like that. I like that.
is that vegan?
The
Yeah,
only reason why I
it's
can
faux.
say that, like I could kind of cheat, is because unbeknownst to me, like I'm very good at remembering faces, even if I don't meet people. So I've actually not met, but I saw Kathy out near Respectables. What show was it? It was after Moonfest, big party.
Aces High?
It may have been
Aces
it was
High
a
Festival?
couple weeks,
Or,
probably about a
Bumble?
month or two
Bumble?
ago.
Bumblefest.
Fucking No Name Ska Band played. Fucking who else?
Oh yeah, that one that was the street party.
Yeah,
right?
the street party.
Yeah, Fishbone played that too.
Yes.
Yeah, we were there. We were there for that.
Yeah. So the two,
like hanging out.
yeah,
Yeah.
the two of you I've seen out in public, not playing.
Yeah.
Like, and I've seen you at Prop and again at Respects.
Yeah,
like,
we saw each other last night. and shit, yeah.
so I've seen you guys just out. So I could see like you dress very similar out in public. So I was taking a guess that both you, Missy, and oh my God, Chuck.
Yeah.
That's kind of your inner persona.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
I dress like Carmen San Diego a lot.
Is that because of the red? You say that?
Oh,
or-
I love red. Red's is like my favorite color. I think.
Also, it's Christmas. It's Yule time.
Oh, that's not why, but okay.
Yeah. yeah.
I like red.
So, what's your inner persona like? You say you like is that really off of Carmen Sandiego, or is there a specific?
No, it's just like I like red. Like I like the boa sort of thing. Like bolo ties, like bow ties a lot.
Bow ties are cool. Just ask Doctor Who.
Yeah. Or Bill Nye.
Well, I'm a Doctor Who fan.
Nice. But yeah, I'm into bow ties, and so I kind of just do my thing. I also kind of the hat's more like kind of like aping off of Prince, because I saw like the When Doves Cry music video like a long time ago, and I just remember when he had like the veil, like the church lady hat. I'm like, oh, that's so cool. And I like it.
What about you, Kathy? Where's your inner persona? Like that style come from for you? Like,
Just years of trying to figure it out, really. Like I just wear what's comfortable, really, especially with playing shows and the visual aspect of the band as well. So I kind of wear that, and it's really expensive stuff. So I kind of wear the same things over and over because they're very expensive. So
Kathy shows up like this to the practice.
Yeah,
only
when
when
it
I'm
doesn't
gonna
show
go
up in
out,
PJs.
only because I'm gonna go out right after practice. I dress.
I straight up
Kathy
show up in
just-
PJs.
Fancy all the time.
Yeah, I'm just fancy all the time.
Boncy.
I'm just
Super
fancy.
fancy.
Yeah. But yeah.
And you, like, where's your inner persona? Like, because the reality is, people,
Yeah.
if they're gonna be out, like, there's something or someone that has that influence, and
Yeah,
Right.
for me, like, this kind of goes back a little, like, pretty far, because, like, the first time I was into anything like super weird was when I was playing Frankenfurter in
Rocky Horror Picture Show.
Yeah, Rocky Horror Picture Show when I was
Let's do the
15.
Time Warp.
And
Where'd you
Like-
see? Okay, where'd you see it at? What?
Flippers Theater in Hollywood. Yeah, and I started like I went there for a few weeks, and they were like, oh, everyone, like all my friends were like, oh, we should all dress up as part of the cast, and the only thing that was left that was interesting enough was Frankenfurter, and I did it, and I fucking killed it.
Yeah.
So I did that for like 2 years, and then I got plucked from that by this motherfucker to join his band, and after a while, I would just like during that time, I was just punk.
I remember back.
Folk punk and shit, and then I got back into this. I'm like, this feels right. I feel like
I just
a lot of
I
years.
just remember
Yeah,
like
and-
when you
So-
would do Frankenfurter, you would have all your like costume shit in the car.
Yeah, I had
And
my,
you would
my
pick up, you
pearl
would,
necklace.
like after I was like, this was back in high school. Like so after like being like bad kids and shit, I remember I was like on Emmett from the Panics like porch, like covered in my own vomit and shit. I have like 2 like fucking OEs or
Yep.
something stupid like that. And I just
You had
remember.
3 OEs that night. Yeah, I remember.
Ooh, I was really going
3 OEs,
crazy
you're
then.
you're so
Ooh, 3
drunk.
OEs. And I remember just being like in my underwear covered in vomit, and he's coming back from Rocky to pick me up to take him back to like his place to
Yeah.
hang out, and I'm just like looking at like these necklace beads, and like, are these anal beads, bro?
Yeah, you gotta wear the pearl necklace when you're
Yeah, you
playing
gotta go all out.
But yeah, that actually goes back into the fact that like that was the first like kind of alternative kind of thing that I got into that's like darker or fetishier or fucking gothier. I don't know what to call it, but fabulous. Yeah. The first like fabulous thing that I got into, but then I just like I went astray for a little while. I got into like ska, and then when I got back into this band, I was like, oh, I should have been here the whole time. I look much better in this. Like I'm actually like wearing the same thing that I was wearing earlier today. I just put makeup on, and yeah, like I like dressing like this. Like I go to work a little bit like dressed down from this, but not too much anymore. Like I used to take my my nail polish off, not wear the earring and stuff, but nowadays I'm just like, fuck it. Like, what are they gonna do?
Now, do people ever presume things about you because of the way you dress? Like, do they presume you're into BDSM or you're into vampires or whatever? And any of those judgments spot on because you are into that, or are they completely?
They
without
would
it?
be spot on if they ever did it, but I don't think they do. I think they just do it like silently, like to themselves. Like,
Oh,
I walk into work.
I'm a fan of BDSM. I think it's a
Yeah.
beautiful thing if that's what you're into.
Yeah.
I'm like I said, I have Asperger's, so I'm a very strange person. Like
I'm into that. So
I'm
yeah.
I can't be I can't be a sub at all. I
Yeah.
fucking lose my shit. But being a dom for me isn't about dominating.
Yeah.
Being a dom for me is about my partner enjoying themselves.
Yeah. That's
Well, I mean,
exactly
yeah,
what
the
it
heart
is,
of
really.
the heart of BDSM is power, power control and the exchange of power. I mean,
Which is which you're absolutely 100% right. But again, like the excitement for me isn't about like I respect it. I do. But I personally don't get anything from that exchange. For me, it's the effect on my partner from that exchange.
Well, yeah.
Yeah.
No,
Like,
of course.
well, most
That's
people, and
exactly
I
what
respect
dumb,
it.
Dumb shit is really.
And-
Yeah,
like, you have
pleasing
to
the other
you have to
person
see
and
that
the
shit.
excitement. and
It's the
joy
reason
of,
why, like, I can't
Are you
do
sub or dom?
that kind of relationship long term, full time,
Switch.
because the responsibility
of course, yeah.
of
yeah.
it is too much for me. Like,
Absolutely.
it stresses me out. Like,
Right,
occasional BDSM with a partner, I'm good with.
right.
But-
it's a lot of responsibility to take on.
And I totally respect people that can live that lifestyle. Like, the fact that they can take on that responsibility is like, dude, hats off to you. Like, I am impressed. I respect you. I can't. It's just too much for me.
Yeah,
Like,
everybody's different, man.
No, absolutely.
Everybody has certain things that are acceptable and not acceptable, and pleasurable and not pleasurable. It's just humanity.
and it's the fact that a lot of people are like, oh, well, I'm not. I'm like, motherfucker, there's some aspect of it and some fetish that turns you on. Like, that's just reality. Unless you're completely asexual.
Well,
Chuck, are you sub or dom?
Depends on the day.
Oh,
So
you're, so
total
you're
switch.
switch. You're switch.
Let's go across the team.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, ultimately, the whole cornerstone of that is power. You know, like
Oh,
the
help
exchange of
yourself.
power and the enjoyment of either having power or not having power. You know, but yeah,
Well-
it's obviously different for every individual and personality. And no, and that's the thing is, I think like for people that don't get it, maybe if it was explained to them in different terms, they might totally get it. But it's like they're looking at the exterior of it and don't understand like the very base elements of it.
It's also the people who don't realize that the sub is the one with all the actual power.
Right.
Like no, like with the sub. No, brats. Wait, man. You're already stressing me out. But no, like a lot of people. Worse. The only thing worse, in my opinion, is someone who like I get brat subs to a point.
Well, it's all the relationship between the people involved too, and like what's what. I mean, like it's all relative to who the individual.
I can't deal with these insta fake ass doms. Like
well, it's
and like
it's the nature of social media. People put out one image of themselves, which may or may not be reflective of reality.
Well, it's the ones who think they know what it's like. Bro, like no, there's a not only is there a culture to this,
Absolutely.
but
50 Shades of Grey happened.
Oh,
They
yes.
were really fucking. I remember like some of my coworkers were just like, yeah, like I'm into this like fetish stuff now because like I saw 50 Shades of Grey. And I'm like, the fuck.
and let's be honest.
They're just so vanilla what they're saying, like a vanilla perspective on doing.
Well, the
vanilla
worst part
shit
is
to make it
anyone that's
kinky.
really into BDSM who saw that was fucking. At least I know I was horrified from what little I saw because I'm going. That's not BDSM. That wasn't consensual. That was in a straight abusive fucking. I have money. You're an employee. I'm gonna use this to coerce you into something that you're not prepared for. Like
A cool kink though is like sugar daddies will just give money just so you could spend it and you like call them up and yell at them so you could spend their money. Like I could totally get into that.
oh, I think most of us could.
If anyone's looking for someone to spend their money aggressively.
Anybody wants to take Missy to the mall?
No, you don't even need to see me. I'll just just cash app me. Yeah, just cash app it to me, and I'll like. If it's not enough, I'll call you and bitch you out too.
Send you some photos back.
No, not even that. No, but I'm spending your money.
So back on so with BDSM, top, bottom, sub, dom.
Switch. It depends on the partner and the mood too. Like like it really. I think it's. I'm open to everything, at least once. I always like to say I'm trisexual. I'll try anything once.
Oh, with that, like 'cause you both are switch, which I can respect completely. I can't, like I said, I can't do sub. Like
Yeah, no, that's fair
I
enough. Everyone's
go,
got their own-
I just become super paranoid, and it's just not a good thing.
What I really like is being like dommed until I switch, and then just like snap and go like bloodlust. Like, yeah.
I mean, that actually like brings into where I kind of realized that I was into that kind of stuff. Wrestling practice.
I love where this is going. Like facing heel, or is this different?
Keep going.
Oh, no, you're talking about the switching of like you're reading.
Of
No,
wrestling.
basically just like there was one day that I was at pro wrestling practice. I went to like.
Because I remember you were showing me this, and you had like someone's leading kind of, and they lead.
Yeah. Well, you gotta do the grapple and shit, but like.
Every
a battle royal of wrestling practice.
It's like an orgy of wrestling.
And I was just like on the side of the turnbuckle, and this guy was just like slapping me in the chest, like fake.
And you were like, I feel.
And he's like, dude, sell. And then
You're like, my pants are getting tight.
I was like, ah. I was like, but then I realized
Yeah.
that I should be like, ah. So after I wasn't selling for a little bit, he just pulled me the fuck off, slapped me in the chest as hard as he fucking could. This dude was like 6'5", and he just like manhandled me over the fucking top rope, and I was like,
And
that
something
was
awakened.
fucking awesome. I don't know if it was sexual.
Everybody figures out their own
Oh,
way,
wait,
man.
first of all, that's the thing people screw up. BDSM does not have to be sexual at all.
Yeah.
No, totally.
It feels great. Like if it's just like it
No.
wakes you up.
It's power, yeah.
That's why all these subs are in a band with me.
So,
It's relative power control. That's the basis.
so how did I kind of want to delve in this. Like, did you have anyone that like told you about it, introduced, like, because I know my introduction was completely out of the fucking norm. So we'll get into that if you guys want to in a bit. But like, was it just like a boyfriend, girlfriend, just a guy friend, girlfriend, female friend, like that showed you the world, or like how did you find out about it? Because until, like you said, 50 Shades of Grey and all that, like it was kind of very much an underground thing.
Yeah, I don't know. Looking at books, seeing certain movies. I mean, there's definitely like
Amen to Wonder Woman. Oh.
yeah, do all those things totally. You know, David Bowie in Labyrinth. No, yeah. I mean, there's just different things that like. I mean, I guess like when you're young. Like,
You got the
don't-
power? What power? The power of the bed. Hoodoo.
Hoodoo. You do.
What movie is that originally from? That's like an old black and white movie.
Yeah. Hoodoo Voodoo is definitely from something else.
You remind me of a man. What
Yeah,
man?
the man. But I don't know. I mean, I just as a kid, like like there's not you're figuring things out, and there's certain things that you see or experience like make you feel a certain way, and maybe not until you're a little bit older do you are you able to put them together in your head a certain way. But I mean, yeah, definitely there was like things like this old 40s book set, John Wiley's Erotica, which is just all like before porn existed, it was all drawings and stuff. But I remember like reading that and looking at that and just being like, oh, this is like, there's some kind of attraction here for sure.
What about you, Missy?
Yeah,
What-
like, we're just having musical mics. I like it. Yeah, because I want to like riff with Chuck, kind of. That's fun.
He wants all the mics right now.
All the mics, so they phase out. They're so phallic. I actually say it was like gay culture that like introduced it to me, because like the whole like top and bottom scenario kind of like introduced that, and I was like, well, I like both, so.
Okay.
Yeah, and it's more defined in gay culture than
Yeah, definitely.
like it's more defined.
Especially, well, maybe not so much now, but definitely like.
Well, yeah. I mean, time and culture changes.
And like, you know, it's just like the whole like gender role of like the male like usually like dominating like in just basic basic vanilla sex and stuff. Or it's just like doing missionary. It's like it's not fun after a while. You know, like when you're in high school, like fuck it, but then like you know you start like start wanting to experience the world a little bit more. So that's pretty much how I got introduced to it.
Okay, Kathy missed the question.
We're talking about
Talk about
No.
your sub doms.
and how you got introduced to that world.
Oh, I see.
Kathy's like, ooh. Talk about getting thrown in the mix.
Talk about your electric shocks.
I'm more of a dom, believe it or not. I'm very shy and quiet, but I'm more of a dom. I'm gonna introduce.
Anyone in the world is not surprised by that.
None of us.
I thought you were a nice Catholic girl.
Oh, that so.
Can be with the outfit. I mean, anyways, I got introduced into the scene. How did I get introduced? I mean, it's been a while, a long time. My mutual friends, I got into it, experienced it. I actually, not so long ago, actually, I was actually a sub in, at one of the, I'm gonna shout out Fetish Factory event.
Shout out Fetish Factory.
Shout out Fetish Factory. I wear all of their clothes, by the way. I go shopping there a lot. But one of the events, I actually tried to be a sub, and it was okay, but I realized at that moment I was more of a dom. But yeah, I was just introduced. I've been in the scene for, I would say, since I was 18, so 10 years now. I'm 28. So I did stop going for a while just because I went to nursing school. You know, I had to be there. I've been in school for like 6 years, so that took a big chunk of my life. But I came back once I finished, and yeah, I mean, I've been going back to the fetish scene.
Make sure your mic's turned on. They're saying they can't hear it right now. There's an on-off switch on the mic itself that sometimes gets bumped off.
Got it.
Dent, what'd you do?
Check.
Check,
Yeah.
check. Can you guys hear me now? Okay.
Yeah.
Anyways, Do I have to say everything again? Okay, all right. So, coming back to the question, if I'm a sub, dom, or all of that, I'm actually more of a dom. I was saying that shout out to Fetish Factory. I go to the events a lot. I wear their clothes a lot. I was actually trying to be a sub lately. I not that I didn't enjoy it, but I realized at that moment I was more of a dom. But I've been in the scene for like about, I would say since I was 18 or so. I'm 28 now, so about 10 years. I stopped going because I went into nursing school, but school took 6 years, so I've actually come back to it, and but yeah, I prefer being a dom. But yeah, like I was saying earlier, I'm actually very a quiet and shy person, but I'm more of a dom person for sure.
So you were talking about like things you saw on TV that really, so don't quote me on, I don't remember if it was Die Hard 2 or Die Hard 3. But the scene where the couple, the man and the woman, the Russians, were like fucking slamming each other into the walls, like her and him were like almost fucking fist fighting and then making out. That's like, that was
Like the power struggle. Of
yeah,
who's
like
more
but they were
dominant. Yeah,
physically
it's hot as fuck.
like they neither one was willing to be the sub.
It's like MMA kind of
Like, that
I
scene-
started questioning my sexuality, but like when MMA became mainstream, I was like,
But no, like that scene, I was like, that is the fucking hottest scene ever. Like, neither one's willing to submit to the other. Like, it's a forced submission. Like,
well, no. I mean, there's these things that you see, and also, I mean, it's your personal interpretation of them too. But it is like, I'm, it's just the things that like make you go, oh, okay, cool. Like for some reason I like that. And I think when you're young, when you're a kid, it's hard to put all those things together. And maybe it's not until you're older you can actually like connect all these things and like understand the whole like philosophy and like context of it. But yeah, it's like, no, I mean, Wonder Woman, you mentioned that, and that's definitely a thing for sure.
Like the whole like concept behind it too, wasn't it? Like the whole like feminist thing, and then like the
well, yeah,
bondage,
just the strong female, the strong female character who ties up her protagonist with a lasso.
but if she gets tied up, she becomes completely powerless.
Yeah, exactly. And no, it's I mean, there was just different things for sure that like, triggered something, like makes you realize who you are, and maybe it takes a while for you to kind of put those together. I mean, later on, it was definitely like, the drawings of Tom of Finland and photographs of Betty Page that helped me like kind of like put that together in my head.
Right behind fucking Missy.
This reminds me of the Venture Brothers, Betty Rage. When
Betty Rage?
Dr. Girlfriend was looking for like a new like kind of like coming out.
Sidekick?
No, she's going out solo.
Okay.
And like, oh, you want like more of like the Guild of Calamitous Intent.
Okay,
It was like,
okay.
oh, you want more of like a feminist thing. I got you. It was like, and they opened like a curtain. It's like, how about Betty Rage? And it's just like a
Venture Brothers is a great cartoon.
We have the question: have you guys considered doing any Angels of Liberty covers?
Oh my God, who are Angels of Liberty?
Yeah,
Shouldn't we
sorry.
know them?
You know the Missy?
I guess we as a group apologize that we don't know who Angels of Liberty are.
Can you message us
Are we that
with
trad or are we
YouTube? Oh, Dennis gonna look him up, but yeah, I mean, yeah,
We would have to listen.
we're
I
not
mean,
sure.
maybe we'd have to listen to them
So
first.
let
We
me
don't know who they are.
Is there any out of genre song that you
Yes.
guys
That is funny that you should mention.
Oh,
that you guys would do or have done?
Well, first of all,
where is my love life?
we have 2 more covers coming in, but then by the end of this upcoming year, we will be applying another cover that's out of genre that we've actually been working on for a while, but with
Oh,
Chuck wants it.
Where's my love life? How is
It's
it?
a little
Where has it
little
gone?
song by Prince called Computer Blue.
Oh yes.
Somebody, please tell me what the hell is wrong.
That's a very hard song for me.
It's a dude. Prince is an amazing musician, and his songwriting is incredible. And like that song is totally an example of like, what the fuck are you thinking? Like, it's such a good song, but it's like, it's just not like, I don't know. It's not chorus verse. Chorus
It's structured like
I
a metal
don't, I don't
song,
know if
pretty much.
anyone's noticed the nod that we do to that video at live shows when we're playing the Vultures Will Pick Your Bones while Missy's doing his solo. I dropped to my knees in front of his guitar.
And he sucks my guitar off.
I sucked the guitar off. So,
which is
yeah.
totally a Prince of the Revolution thing. Although I do want to also point out that before that, it is a Bowie thing.
No, it wasn't.
It was.
It was, but
it was a Bowie.
we're gonna do this. And the Prince wasn't.
But we're not referencing Bowie. We're referencing Prince.
Prince is his own thing through like funk music and shit.
It is. No, Prince is a unique entity in the world of music. Oh yeah, so we're learning a Prince song, which I think for us, like probably like is very indicative of like what we like and what we're into. You know.
Hey, that's fucking awesome. Now, musically, is there a song or an artist that does something that's so like just out of character for what most people like? Whether it's like a Led Zeppelin song or a Beatles, like something that's just like not the standard fucking rhythm and melody, like where they mix it up, that's kind of experimental, that you just connect with.
Well, like I was saying, I really like Tom Waits, but like Albert King's like my favorite guitarist. That's like the main reason why I play like a flying V or prefer a V shape, is like a tribute to him pretty much. Granted, I'm not left-handed. I'm not going to attempt to play a guitar left-handed, but like. Actually, I'd be down to cover Born Under a Bad Sign, too. That would be, like, really cool.
I mean, for me, Bauhaus, just because being a drummer, just the drumming is so incredibly unique and really not based around, like, rock tropes, really based around, I guess, more dub tropes, but interpreted through, like, these weird British guys.
Yeah, I noticed with, like, drums, too, like, a lot of, like earlier, like, goth stuff, like Batcave scene, like Sex Gang Children, Bauhaus, bands like that, the Cure's Pornography record. It's a lot of just like Tom kind of like tribal, like just like this like ritualistic sound. Yeah. Like we're trying to summon Cthulhu or something. It's like awesome.
Kathy, come on, you guys have something
my,
percolating.
My thing would be Black Flag, the B-side of My War, the last 2 songs on the My War album. I think we could probably kill those songs.
Wait, what 2 songs are those?
What 3 songs are they?
3 songs. I'm sorry.
Yeah. Oh, you said 2. Okay. Yeah, Nothing Left Inside,
Okay.
3 Nights, and Scream. Yeah, they are amazing and they fit our style, and I would love to cover them, but Missy will never let us do it.
Maybe, who knows?
Hashtag fuck you, Missy.
Hashtag fuck you, Missy.
The future's unwritten.
What about you, Kathy?
Me, I come from a different world, really. Yes, I do.
Who?
I listen to a lot of symphonic metal.
Okay.
And a huge one is for me is Nightwish, and that's why I started playing keyboards as Thomas Halapanen. I don't know if I'm saying the last name right, but he's the one that plays a lot of the keyboards, piano, and yeah, a song I would like to play would include a lot of the piano playing. I do a lot of background synth and keyboards in this band, but solos and all of that stuff, which we've spoken about, Missy and I, about doing piano solos in our songs. But yeah, no specific song, just throwing it out there.
So, along the same lines, is there any music you grew up having to listen to from your parents that you either loved or fucking hated?
Oh, my mom always listened to 80s music when I was growing up, and I hated it when it was like
Any particular band that you hated that she played a lot of?
Cyndi Lauper. I hated when I was like
shame on you, shame.
When I was like 10
shame.
to 15 or so. But
You
then
don't bop then.
after I got to like 15, I was like, oh shit, this is good.
Time After Time's a classic. Shame on you.
Yeah. Well, I just heard it so much.
No, yeah, Cyndi Lauper's great. My parents listened to a lot of 50s rock and roll, and I cannot fault them on any of that because I love a lot of that music. And my dad even saw Screamin' Jay Hawkins live one time. He said he busted out of a coffin and people freaked out. And I said, people freaked out? He's like, it was the 50s, kid.
So,
But wait.
oh.
Oh,
Led Zeppelin. I've listened to Led Zeppelin so much I'm sick of it. But then the other day I listened to Immigrant Song and I thought, oh, Led Zeppelin are actually okay.
They are.
Garth Brooks.
Oh fuck, I forgot about. I wasn't even gonna say that.
Yeah, talk about Garth Brooks.
Yeah, no, okay, fuck. So my dad's full-on redneck that moved to Florida, Fort Lauderdale. So he was like all Miami Viced out in the fucking 80s and shit, living with gay dudes. That's how I met my mom. My mom was a hag.
Oh, thank God, Lord Jesus.
And he was homeless, living with gay guys. Friend Dave, I'm still friends with, actually saw him. Was like, oh, he's kind of cute. I'm gonna pick him up. Dad lived with him ever since, or lived with him then, and then eventually moved out. But they've been friends ever since. Yeah, no. So like, I got like 80s music. Like growing up was big. My mom was like super into Prince, and like, oh shit, like just like Arkansas, growing up there, like. So like Garth Brooks was really big, like in that point in the 90s, and so that's got like nostalgia stuff for me. My mom liked Shania Twain a lot, which I hated at the time, but now it's kind of like funny. Like ironically, I like it. Like it's an ironic, like, you know. Like 80s music I loved, and like
Whose
country
bed
I loved.
have your boots been
That don't
under?
impress me
I don't impress him. Okay, so you got a car. She just downgrades every time. I love
Okay,
it.
so
It's
you're a
like
rocket
it says,
scientist.
okay,
Yes.
you're a rocket scientist. Oh, you're Brad Pitt. I wonder if he gets royalties for that. Like so, like country, like especially like outlaw country and like bluegrass. Like I've always liked. Like 80s music I liked up until like probably the 2000s, where like I was like, I hate this. I was like all about kind of like 90s nostalgia for some reason, and I was like, I want more of that like kind of like grungy like sound. But now I'm like probably like 2010 I really got like into 80s music again when I started doing certain illicit substances, and the drum beat made sense with it for dancing, because it sounds like I'm gonna call it Florida Snow is just made for that like 80s like it's all, they call it the shoulder dance, you know, like you just like no, that's not no, that's eating. We're going techno there. I'm talking about that like, you know, really loud snare, like in the air tonight sort of thing. It's like, yeah.
I get it. Like I grew up. My mom was my mom and dad were big in music. My mom was a huge ABBA, Aretha Franklin, Four Tops, fucking the Supremes. And I hated it growing up. Oh my God, I hated it growing up. And then my dad was big into like Cinderella, Styx,
My mom loves Styx.
NX. Oh,
And I loved Styx in like middle school, I remember. But like now, that's like a band that like did the inversion of the 80s thing, where like, now I'm like, ugh.
I still love Styx. I think they're a great band.
Well, like, wait, so later did you come
I
around?
actually like Blue
Oh
Collar
yeah,
Man.
absolutely. In fact,
Blue
to the
Collar Man is the jam, by the way, by Styx.
and then I had my grandfather, my mother's father, who was listening to country. And like I would go on trips with him to see family up in Leesburg, and I just like things I remember is like when fucking Achy Breaky Heart came on, he'd fucking I got this habit from him, is he would make up his own lyrics to it. Like his was my Achy Breaky Farts.
I remember in Arkansas in the early 90s, I had a mullet, I was wearing my overalls, I was trying to line dance to that song in the living room. Good times.
But my mom's father mostly listened to outlaw country. There's a couple exceptions, like Baby's Got Her Blue Jeans On. That we always had to listen to, because my mother's mom, before she passed, that was like their song. So whenever that came on, that you didn't make a fucking sound. Like you didn't. My grandfather would fucking whoop your ass if you fucking disturbed that.
That was like my grandparents in The Thunder Rolls by Garth Brooks.
Wait, which song?
The Thunder Rolls.
And
Well-
the lightning strikes.
Well, it's just like
Completely relatable.
indicative of how normal this is. Like growing up, my mother never listened to that never listened to country, like for as long as I could recall. And then one day, next thing I know, she's got country on her fucking radio station. And I'm like, what the fuck is going on? That's where the idea, like, people's taste in music changes not only based on their age, but where they're at in life.
No, totally. It's no. I mean, there's certain songs that, like, I wouldn't say I like them, but they definitely bring back a certain sense of, like, they bring back certain memories and certain like things I've forgotten just because I heard them at a certain time in my life. And no, I think that's true for like a lot of people. Like, you know, like I had talked to like a lot of friends, and they'll tell me some song they like. I was like, you like that? And they're like, well, yeah, I was like 13 when it came out. It's like, I totally get that. I totally get that.
I think there's also like a lot of like sort of like social, like, oh, I can't like that. So like, when you're like younger, you kind of like hide that. Like Flock of Seagulls are a band like that with me. Like,
Well, I
was
love Flock of
not
Seagulls.
liking that
Well, no,
until,
and
like, when I was really young or a lot older. Like,
no.
that-
I ran at some point.
Yes.
we did do that.
Oh,
Yeah.
Tears for Fears I love as well. Like,
Yeah. Well, no, and, there, and
Space.
I mean, and dude, I've even had the experience where there's stuff I love, then I hate it, then I love it again, you know? And it's just really like when it hits you, and like, you know, one time I was arguing with a friend, and I was like, Jimi Hendrix sucks. And then I went and listened to Crosstown Traffic. I was like, no, Jimi Hendrix rules. Like, Jimi Hendrix is awesome.
you made like I laugh. I remember getting fucking stoned off my ass and listening to the fucking Doors album, like just fucking completely fucking stoned. Like couldn't get up and just listening to the Doors.
Dude, yes, I used to hate Black Sabbath, and then my friend Bill, who's in a band called the Belltones, got me really stoned and made me listen to Volume 4, and I was like, why do I hate this? I fucking love this. Huh?
Is that with Dio?
What? No. Volume 4 is still Ozzy.
Is Dio like?
Oh, no. I'm sorry. It wasn't Volume 4. It was, is it Paranoia? The one that's got fairies wear boots? Paranoid. And also
Have that album on vinyl. Sorry.
It's got the coolest cover too, like the weird cop with like the neon baton. And wait, isn't Sweetleaf on that too?
I don't know.
think it
We'll
makes
find the
sense.
vinyl after the show
Probably.
and look it up.
Probably.
I like Fairies Wear Boots a lot.
So, with that, because now I'm talking about my vinyl, is there something that you're into that most people are like, wow, you're into that? Like, I'm into vinyl. I fucking, with the help
Lady
of,
Gaga.
Oh my god! All right, when we were on tour,
Lady
like,
Gaga is fuck.
when we were on tour, like they were driving, so I was like, awesome. I'm gonna sleep for like 12 hours while they drive. And every time, like every couple hours, I would wake up, and all it was 90s dance music. It was La Bouche,
That's me. That's totally me right there.
and it was,
That's me.
I think it was Aqua.
Aqua probably was on there.
Yeah. That was
Tracy
that was
Lords.
definitely around there.
Tracy- music
yes,
on there.
totally.
so,
I just love the bass and like 90s like kind of electronic music, which is so low end and was like dirty sounding. It's like
all right, so real quick, where'd you grow up?
I grew up in rural New Mexico, and then I moved here when I was 17. Moved to South Florida.
Missy?
I was born in Fort Lauderdale, but my earliest memories are in Little Rock, Arkansas. I lived there till about the age of 10. Then my family moved back down to Fort Lauderdale. And then my dad was fucking his secretary, and my family divorced. You know, you gotta do the Florida thing, you know? Florida.
Jesus.
But yeah, so originally born in Florida. Before I was like a year old, I think I was up in Arkansas. So most of my earliest memories are in Little Rock, Arkansas.
Kathy?
Miami, Florida.
Dan?
Born and raised.
Born and raised, and then
The
came up to Fort
305.
Lauderdale.
I was born on Venus, and then I moved to Jupiter for a few years.
Did you get stupider?
I got way stupider. But yeah, for real, I was born in Hollywood, went to Pembroke Pines, moved to Hollywood, and now I'm in Fort Lauderdale.
Okay, so
Born and raised.
Yeah.
with most of you guys growing up, be honest, how many of you guys kind of got into fucking Uncle Luke and Trick Daddy? Whether you wanted to or
that
not.
was my first show. That was my first show that I've ever been to. It was a 99 Jams Fest. Trick Daddy headlined. And also I saw Trick Daddy like a few years later at Fade and Fest. And he played 3 songs. That's it.
There's one Trick Daddy.
Lucas, man.
I-
He got
honestly,
fired.
I like Bone Thugs and Harmony.
Yeah, oh yeah. Oh shit, like pop, like rap music at the time. Like when Crunk was out, like I was all like, I was like in the punk scene, and I was like, this is fucking like. I had like a whole like conception of like punk subgenres, like raps or hip hop subgenres and shit. Like, so I always thought like crust punk was like
I'm just gonna let you know right now. You break like subgenres when people go in that. You break my fucking brain. Like I don't.
No, it's okay. It's quick. It's I always felt that was like crust punk was like more like rap, and then like D beat was like crunk music, but this was all like chorus. Pretty much it was like all like hype, and I loved D beat at the time, so it was like crunk music and like Trick Daddy. It was I think it was Trick Daddy and East Side Boys that did that song "What's Happening." I think.
Yes, I
Yeah,
know.
I love that fucking. That was my fucking ringtone in high school, and I remember like all the kids at my high school would like look at me like, "Damn, you hood like that?" I'm like, no, it was
What
like
about
a punk kid with, like
Trina?
a red mohawk.
Trina.
The baddest bitch.
Ja
Yes.
Rule. What does Ja Rule have to say about this?
He can
He's a
stay in
wankster.
Atlanta. That's what we can say
He's
about
a-
it. It's a 305.
He's a
5,
Ja
6.
Rule's like 5'6".
he's a winkster.
Oh shit!
Yeah, growing up in New Mexico, the hip hop I was exposed to was NWA, and God, who else?
All that
Public
West
Enemy.
Coast- all that
Public
West
Enemy
Coast
fucking
shit.
rule though.
Oh.
Dude, totally West Coast versus East Coast thing, absolutely.
Public Enemy is like straight out.
Oh,
one
I
of my
hated that
favorite-
Biggie versus
Public
Tupac.
Enemy are amazing,
Fucking-
dude.
Yeah.
Public Enemy are
It takes
like,
a nation of a million to hold us back
dude,
is like one of my favorite
Public Enemy
records.
to me are like punk rock in the sense that there's a political
They
and
were,
social
very
element
much.
to them, but then there's also an
A
entertainment
fucking
element to
idiot. A fucking idiot that's
Flavor
the hype
Flav
man,
is a
yeah.
fucking
Dude,
genius
listen,
in that.
listen,
Like
there was
he
a time- there was a
fucking.
time when Flavor
I mean, he's
Flav-
playing a fucking idiot. But
No,
yeah.
listen. Before Flavor of Love, Flavor Flav was like actually cool. I mean, like obviously he wanted to make money, so he got really bad. But no, dude.
Well, I mean,
Well-
if you want to talk about that, like,
Gotta pay
that
rent.
super punk influence on rap, like KRS-One was.
Oh, dude.
Fuck yeah, Boogie Down Productions, the entire fucking thing. I love that shit. I was in a band that, like, Social Fox originally, before you joined, which is a punk band that we're in, like, in high school. We wanted to do a cover of 9mm. Like, I remember that. But, like, the fake patois would probably not have aged
Well, that
well.
band it ended up covering "Roll Out" instead.
I went.
It was Move Bitch.
Move bitch, yeah.
One of the first shows I went to when I moved to Florida was the tour that was Public Enemy and Sisters of Mercy
What?
and Gang of Four. They
Fuck you,
decided.
Chuck.
I swear to God, this
Fuck you,
existed.
Chuck.
They packaged this tour.
do this?
No, they packaged this tour together, thinking that it would be like an interesting idea for like different like crowds to like kind of.
I'd
like,
want to see that.
It was awesome. I think like
I want to see that right now.
I
Shit.
think the entire tour like lasted like it only like lasted for like 5 or 6 shows and it fell apart.
Really?
But it was like it was at Bayfront. It was like one of the first
So,
shows I saw when I moved down here.
what's the first show you saw without your parents or any adults supervising you?
For me? It was MDC, Millions of Dead Cops, when I was 13, and
So hardcore, bro.
Yeah.
Can't be as cool as you, Chuck.
Yeah.
Neither can I. I mean, the first show I saw without my parents, I was 15. My buddy was fucking 15, and he drove his mom's car because she was out of town. And we went and saw Offspring and Pantera at the old.
What the fuck?
Weird mix.
It's a weird ass show. Yeah.
Like super 90s though.
Yeah.
Oh,
here. Or?
yeah, at the old West Palm Beach Auditorium.
Was that when Americana came out, or is that?
Oh, fucking Offspring was like huge. That was like their first big album that
Like
broke it.
Smash probably. That sounds kind of
Not
cool.
Baghdad. Baghdad didn't do it. Yeah.
And much to my shame at this point, I will admit, even no, not shame. Fuck you. I got the tickets because I wanted to see Offspring. I honestly, to much chagrin, I did not know who Pantera was.
That's okay.
And then
I would fucking kill
and then
to fucking be
You
in
know,
your
that's
position to
the
see
dichotomy of
Pantera.
this band.
Would
You
you,
love Pantera.
Jesus
would you
Christ.
shoot someone on stage to see him?
and then they Pantera played Walk, and they owned my fucking and they owned me, like heart and soul. They played Walk live, and I was
Man, no, it's whatever it means to you at the time,
Right.
dude. The art is the important part, and whatever art connects with you is valid, dude, for sure.
Kathy.
Yeah,
then- then-
but yeah, my the first show that I went to see was super fucking lame. Without my parents, it was the Offspring. No, not the Offspring. You said the Offspring.
yes, I did.
The Ataris, and I don't know, Alkaline Trio.
Wait, what was the first show you went to, Kathy?
Yeah, I saw. Yeah,
I think mine was Christmas Chaos down in Bayfront Park. There, a lot of bands were playing. 10 Years, Mudvayne. Oh my God. What's that?
Were
band's
Mudvayne
name?
wearing all the makeup?
Or was it the second
I-
record?
Or yeah,
No,
is it
the
the second iteration of Mudvayne when they stopped wearing the
God,
makeup?
I don't even remember, but I remember that specific show in particular, and many other bands they're playing too. I just remember I was very
Yeah, it
young.
was like one of those like radio station shows, right?
Yes.
I think it was a Warp Tour. And I remember the band that really caught my attention was Flogging Molly. I remember I was walking away from the casualty and like, this is kind of what I expected. But Flogging Molly, like, I remember like when that kick drum, they opened up with, what was that? Drunken Lullabies? Is that their?
That's a great song. But...
And I just remember that kick drum, and I just like felt it like in my heart.
Yeah.
That great sound system. Is that the? Is when Warped was at the Pompano?
Pumping it up there because I remember seeing
Irish
Dropkick Murphys at the same amphitheater.
Oh,
and
so
I was
you mentioned.
fuck.
I saw
good.
saw Motorhead at that venue, and it was extremely sad.
Okay, Boomer.
It was the last Motorhead tour, and Lemmy looked really frail. And at the end of the set, he goes, "We are Motorhead. We play rock and roll. Remember us." And I was like, he knows he's dying. Like, he's just like saying goodbye.
He lived a great life. He lived a great life, though.
Mood killer.
Lemmy lived an awesome life.
Mood killer.
Chuck, why'd you kill Lemmy?
See,
I really thought that Lemmy would never die. I really thought that. I don't know why.
I upset a lot of my friends. Like I would never. I appreciate some Flogging Molly songs, but I would never pay to go see them. I saw them live because I wanted to see Social Distortion in Orlando, but it's blows all my because I would fucking still at the same time go pay to go see Dropkick Murphys.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, I didn't pay to see. That's the thing. Like, I didn't want to go. I didn't want to see like a bunch of like street punk bands. Like, was the I don't know. That's when like Punkcore Records I think was like blowing up at that time.
Yeah.
With like the Virus.
You said it was at
Yeah.
Pompano Beach.
And I remember I wanted to go see like all the Uber like street punk bands and shit. And then like I remember like just Flogging Molly, like I was like, it's like folky and Irishy and Celtic, and that's kind of weird. Then I was like, I fucking love this. Like, wait a second,
So,
like mandolin rocks. And
now you got me on the kick. Okay. So, like you just like for me, it was Pantera. Seeing them. Is there a band you Flogging Molly that you went to see somebody else and then you saw another band live and you were like, oh my God, they're awesome. And I'm gonna throw this band out. There's two. Not only Pantera, the other band that I heard live, I was like, oh shit, I'm into this. Everyone's gonna fucking in the pug seat's gonna want to beat my ass for it, but Rancid, like I heard them live and I was
I
like,
like Rancid. I told you NoFX was one of the best, biggest bands that like started to get me to be in a band.
That's like a
but like I wasn't
in
into Rancid until I saw them
I
live.
think Matt Friedman as like a bassist, like that
Yeah.
was like even like when we like hate on Rancid, it was like that's like how you fucking play bass, like on,
Yeah, absolutely.
like Dead Bodies and Maxwell Murder. And Maxwell Murder was like on their Sellout record or whatever.
Yeah.
I think
Up
mine
in the
was
Wolves.
Apocalyptica. I saw them. I think they were touring either with Lacuna Coil or
Lacuna
Epica
Coil.
or someone of that scene, and I saw them. They play cello. It literally sounds like guitars. They do Metallica covers. I mean, they have their own songs, but Apocalyptica, yeah.
They're aren't they an orchestrational?
Yeah, like they play
Metallica
cellos.
cover band.
Yeah. So
Oh, I
I
wanna
think
see
that
two
was the
cellos,
band
but-
that I was just like blown away for what they did, and yeah, I've liked it ever since. So,
I'm
yeah.
so old that my first band, Chickenhead, played a house show in Berkeley with Rancid before they were a 4-piece band. When it was just 3-piece before Lars, whatever joined.
Lars wherever.
Lars
Just famous.
Fredrickson.
Oh, yeah, let's from the Bastards.
Yes,
Yeah.
when they had just put out that first album, which was just still the 3-piece.
What was the question again?
Tim
A
Armstrong
band
was
you
just-
saw live that you weren't interested, didn't know anything about, that you happened to see live and got into.
Okay. Yeah. So basically, the show that I went to for that, I went to see Cannibal Corpse and Napalm Death, and I saw this band Macabre. And Macabre is fucking ridiculous. Like the dude has a mullet. The dude had a mullet back in like 2006 when it wasn't cool at all. It's cool now, but he had a mullet and he had a headset mic. Yeah, he had a headset microphone, and they were selling like Chef Boyardee cans of human meat, and basically I watched them and like.
But like
I love that shit.
The genre is what's it called? Like
Murder metal.
Yeah, so it's like it's their own like genre
Yeah.
pretty much, and he like
gotta
doesn't
see this
he
bit.
doesn't he doesn't know how to like false chord or scream or anything. So he's got this really like kind of like remember when he used to make
He
fun
just
of
goes like,
John?
yeah,
voice, kind of like a Miss Piggy, like a very angry Miss Piggy.
like macabre,
That's
brain,
awesome.
whatever.
And all the songs about serial
Yeah,
killers,
sure.
right?
Yeah, it's all about serial killers.
But they're, like, kinda
they
tongue-in-cheeky,
they do a song called Jeffrey Dahmer's Chocolate Factory.
And it's like the Oompa Loompa.
Yeah, it's an Oompa Loompa song, but about how Jeffrey is going to kill and eat people. So yeah.
I remember when I went to go meet for the first time in person, because MySpace is the thing. My high school girlfriend, when I before I started dating, you were blasting that fucking music.
Yeah.
That and
I
the
loved
soundtrack.
that shit. Yeah.
That and the soundtrack to Lazy Town. I remember.
I fucking love Lazy Town.
That's like good Euro dance music. Like honestly.
Yeah. Lazy Town sports candy.
So
We should drink some apples again.
change of topic a little bit. What's the most vanilla basic thing that you're into? Like that's just so like whether it's pumpkin spice shit or whatever. Like that's something that everybody fucking is into. That's super basic. Like
Publix rotisserie chickens.
yes.
Fucking Chuck.
Yeah. School. I'm really into school. Like I love me some education.
I don't think anybody is basic. I love school.
I love homework.
Maybe, yeah.
Yeah, you like homework.
I just don't have time for it. Though. That's what sucks.
Yeah.
I do like pumpkin spice. I like pumpkin everything. I just want to be a pumpkin, honestly. I don't know what else.
Or whether it's skinny jeans, like
I
just-
love shopping. Really, like
I do too.
oh my god, I love shopping. I just run out of money, so
I like respecting animal rights. Every now
Oh
and
my
then.
god.
Oh,
Yeah,
go fuck yourself.
It's getting to that.
I like cats.
Yeah, but wrestling's not
And Baby
vanilla
Yoda.
because I was just talking about
Oh my God.
how that got me into submission.
Baby,
So,
Yoda.
yeah.
Cats and Baby Yoda. Like I got 6 cats. I want more because I like to pretend like I'm David Bowie in Labyrinth.
Yeah.
Like I'm a
David
goblin king.
Bowie.
And just like
Yeah.
wearing my tight little pants. Like
I love cats too. I'm super allergic. My
Have
girlfriend
fun.
Just, my girlfriend just got another cat and he's super cute.
That cat is adorable. That
He's
cat
so
is
good, so
Oh.
fucking
I knew
adorable.
cat
So
too.
sweet.
So cat.
Sorry, I'm not a cat
Baby
person.
Yoda. Like I'm fucks with Baby Yoda. Like I really am not I'm not really like a big Star Wars fan. I'm
Baby
like a
Yoda
Star
died
Trek
in
fan.
Miami.
Oh, I'm
though.
really into Star Trek.
You're not into Star Wars, but you love Baby Yoda.
I love Baby Yoda. Like,
See,
Baby
I-
Yoda's so cute.
I don't like Star Wars because the prequels I feel really fucked everything up.
He's
Like,
such a boy.
Look, I'm a total Star Wars nerd. Like, if the fucking
Yeah, there's a
Yoda.
Yoda there and Yoda there.
My thing is
Oh,
like
and I don't have
Another
the.
one around there.
I don't have the Darth Vader out right now
the thing
because
with,
that
like,
motherfucker
that's
went off
my-
all the
that's, like, my
time saying
issue
shit.
with like the like Star Wars is the prequels
Over here.
Right there and
that
right
one right
there.
there.
oh, I didn't see
Yeah.
But that's like really my like issue with Star Wars, like the prequels and like how they did Vader. Like he's so whiny and needy. Like what the fuck? Like I like in my head like was like okay maybe he's like more of like a Lancelot character in the Jedi like Order and stuff, you know, like where he's like having an affair but he's like the best one and stuff, but he like seems reserved but then like last minute he snaps. Sort of thing. Like you're right. Like Order needs to be brought through like oppression or something. I thought that would have been like the route to go with it, but no. It's like he's this little whiny guy, and then he burns himself.
Bro,
And
you're
now he's like the coolest villain ever. How the fuck that happened?
bro, you're just salty because you don't have the high ground.
You know, we should make a.
Speaking of which, you saw that. I don't know if anyone's seen that meme where fucking someone tweeted to fucking George Lucas because it was PG-13. They were allowed to use the word fuck one time. And they're like, bro,
Yeah.
how do you not use the word say, you're fucked, Anakin. I hold the high ground. And George Lucas, or something to that effect. I'm paraphrasing. And George Lucas.
Or when Anakin was about to kill all the younglings, and the younglings should have just said "fuck."
Oh no, but
The
George
clone
Lucas
concept,
tweeted
I
back
hated.
like, "Yeah, I
It was
missed that
amazing.
opportunity. My bad."
The clone concept I really hated too. Like it was like an empire is like more scarier when it has like followers into
Yeah,
it. that are, like,
this is
abiding.
true. This is true.
And
this
if you're
is true.
just like GMOing like your army, like growing them, that like ruins the threat.
It's
I
really,
feel.
really fucking scary in the sequels and
clones.
everything because like
I get
you're
it, it's like a
you're
Mandalorian
actually
clone, but
you're
still,
actually
it's not
recruiting
that.
people and that's scary.
Yeah,
because,
but it's like okay, there's like a movement behind this. Like,
ideas are more scary than biology.
Well, no,
Yeah.
What
totally.
as much as I can think.
I'm a Star Wars fan. Yes, go fuck yourself if you don't like it. But like the greatest line is this is the end of fucking freedom. It doesn't die with a whimper. It dies in massive applause. Like,
Yeah, no, that was
The whole
Amidala,
Senate thing,
right?
right? The Senate.
yeah,
It's
and,
Amidala, yeah.
and like the fucked up part is like the parallels to what we're going in like right now. Like, I don't care about your political beliefs. Like, don't get me wrong, Clinton was a piece of shit.
All politicians are kind of fucking pieces. of
Oh,
shit,
they all
frankly.
are.
I mean,
And like,
politics is the last refuge of a scoundrel.
Well, it's like going back to like performing. It's a spectacle.
Yeah.
And I guess
politics is the same thing. It's a
absolutely,
spectacle.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Yeah.
But I feel
What
like
did Frank Zappa
Trump,
say?
That kind of like I don't know. I feel like political alignment's like a new religion, and I see this like I'm very fucking far left. But
I
like,
agree with you.
I see like people just like refusing
Absolutely,
to
right there.
have
Help
like,
yourself.
discussion.
I'll grab another pack if
and
we
like
go
hear
through
things
those.
out because they're so politically aligned that the other side is the enemy. Like it's like medieval religious like zealotry.
No, here's my issue: is like, you can be. I honestly like. I feel people should be allowed to be who they want,
Definitely.
but fucking stay away from my guns. Fucking end this prohibition era. There's no need. Like, get these fucking people that are in jail for drug charges out of jail. Stop this corporate fucking. It's fucking
Kill
ridiculous.
billionaires.
No, look, I don't. If you fucking can build something that makes you billions of dollars, more power to you. What I have a problem with is the fucking government assisting. Bezos should not have the fucking money he has to a point, except for the fact that he gets all this shit from the government.
Right. I mean, like, pay fucking taxes. I mean, like, it's just ridiculous that he doesn't. I mean, like, but it is like, I mean, the basis of all government. I mean, like, maybe when humanity started, the basis of government was like, let's have representational government for the people. But at this point in the game, it's just about money. That's everything that it boils.
Well, my
down
problem is
So
that
pay for welfare for the people that
you can
are
still.
that
We
you are
need more
keeping on
beers,
welfare.
apparently. My
Okay,
issue.
I'll get some beers.
My issue is that there's people who've made a career out of being in politics.
Totally, and to
they
me,
flip.
to
They
me,
flip,
like
yeah.
a public servant should be paid the least amount because it's like if you really honestly care about servicing humanity, then a paycheck shouldn't be your major
Look,
concern.
I don't even give a fuck about getting paid well for doing that. My issue is the fact that you can stay in the same position for fucking so long, and that's a career. Like, cool, if you can fucking climb the ladder, you start out in local government, and you climb up, and then you go to the federal, and you keep changing positions every fucking 8 years. I'm cool with that. Cool. But the fact that there's people who have sat in the same position in the Senate or Congress for fucking 30 plus fucking years, I have a problem with that.
Definitely. Because what that does too is it like pretty much secures their jobs so they don't need to follow through with what they said they're going to do.
Correct.
Right, they don't need to serve the people.
I think
that
that's
they're
something like
supposed
Cortez was like talking about, wasn't she? Like,
Look, and maybe she's not the fucking sharpest fucking knife in the drawer, but she's doing it honestly. Like, I got elected. I'm a fucking normal person.
yeah.
I'm trying to do what's right for my constituents.
to- right,
Right.
the people that she really
Regardless of whether or not it's generally overall the right thing. Like, I'm representing the people.
Right.
And don't get me wrong, she fucking gives so much fodder for fucking comedy. But at the same time, she's doing right.
Well-
My issue is if you fucking sit in Congress, you get a better healthcare plan for life than
that-
anyone on
yeah,
Medicaid or Medicare.
Yeah.
Absolutely. No, totally.
Yeah.
The people that person is supposed to actually represent. Yeah.
And that's that I have a problem with. The fact that you can fucking do this as a career. And if you get in, statistically, you're going to stay in.
Right.
Like, that's a problem.
Yeah,
it's
and that
absolutely-
definitely is too. Like, I think like the whole reason why like George Washington like resigned on his second term was because Thomas Jefferson said like you're old and senile now or something.
No,
And
without
he
getting
was
into the, like, look,
But no, there is.
let's
like,
be
no,
honest.
No, but there is.
The
like, a
reality
whole-
is if George Washington wanted a third term as president, he'd have won
no,
straight up.
Yeah.
Like, the
Humpty
realization.
Dumpty one after him. pretty
Look,
much.
don't get me wrong. The founding fathers were not the greatest people in the world.
No.
A lot of them owned slaves, what have you. But they understood when they wrote the Constitution that they couldn't
Well, they're
foretell
into-
the future.
What republicanism should be, pretty much, and
Well, no,
you
and
should
they
be
built a
able to
system that is subject that should be
advance.
updated and advanced as human needs and as society advances.
Yeah.
I'm a huge Second Amendment supporter because I'm a huge supporter of the First Amendment. Look, I don't care what stupid shit you have to say. You want to get up on a soapbox and say some dumb shit? You're free to do so. I'm going to ridicule you for your dumb shit.
Yeah.
You believe in some fucking bullshit, fucking the white race is superior, the black race, whatever fucking race is superior. I will fucking defend your right to say it. I'm also going to call you a fucking moron.
Right. Well, no, and I think there's a line there too. I mean, like saying you don't like something is different than I don't like these people and we have guns and we're gonna go kill them. To me, that's like the big.
Once you start to
between
incite violence
Right.
against someone else, that's where you've crossed the line. And I'm in agreement. If you start saying we're gonna fucking do violence to a group of people, you've crossed the line.
Like I agree with that, but like this, like I guess like the violence thing is like so fucking like hard to like really grasp too, because that's really like what the whole like political movement like revolution is based off as well. It's just like where is it gauged, and really I don't know the answer to it. It's like the Second Amendment. I don't really know where I stand on it. Because like I've always been like radically left, like fuck government, like should be able to overthrow government, and if they take means away from it, that's like a challenge to that. But at the same time, like the Parkland shooting, like really made like what the fuck just happened?
I think that's more like deeply rooted in like the culture of America and their obsession with guns. Like it's like there's a gun fetish culture in America that is beyond and above. I mean, I grew up on a ranch. We always had guns. They were tools. It's tools that you need to keep fucking the gophers out of your carrots and like you know. That,
Well, but that's
yeah,
the whole
yeah.
thing.
Don't talk shit about gophers, gopher.
A gun is a tool. That's the reality.
the thing is, I think people tend to. There's a lot of fetishism of guns.
You can.
Which,
I don't give a
There's
fuck.
there's a big problem with guns and everything in this country, pretty much because of every other fucking problem with this country, and the reason that like you should be able to have a gun, but you should also be able to have a better life for yourself.
Oh, here's the thing.
So, yeah.
Here's the reality. You could be as liberal, whatever you want. The reality is this: most women, pound for pound, are not biologically as strong as a man.
Yeah. There's this great author named Paxton Quigley, who female author who writes about the empowerment of women through firearms. And like the main point she makes is that if you're a 5'4" woman and you have to confront a 6'2" male attacker, a gun is the equalizer. The gun is the thing that puts you both on the it gives
Absolutely.
that woman the ability to fight back.
The point is creating the mindset.
You gotta arm the women and you have to arm the poor.
Think about this, okay? And this is the reality. Any firearm law that exists, whether it's Chicago, fucking New York, that prohibits the ownership and the carrying of firearms does not affect the rich. That's the reality.
Yeah,
Well,
that's absolutely true.
At the end of the day, that's the struggle of society and the struggle of human culture is the haves versus the have-nots. I mean, that's what it boils down to at the end of the day.
Well, but like if you look at it, like if you get rid of the prohibition and you fucking go, you know what? Everyone go back to the country. Everyone has the right to own a firearm. Look, the reality is, and I have a huge issue. Like law enforcement needs, internal affairs should be a state bureau, not a in-house bureau. Any fucking reporting of malfeasance on the behalf of law enforcement,
Police brutality.
regardless of what the malfeasance is, should be investigated by a state bureau whose sole purpose, because you can't respect law enforcement if there's bad apples in it.
No, totally.
The problem is there's this culture that's grown because it's happened so much of most citizens, if they're smart, don't trust the law enforcement community. But the problem is they've swung too far of any time there's been an incident, they attack the officer.
Well, then there's also the when you don't trust law enforcement. In some cases, I feel is rightfully so too.
Oh, and I agree. I'm
within,
not disputing
yeah,
that.
definitely. And that's when you start turning to like crime syndicates or like mafias and stuff to start policing your community, because they essentially do that as well. And that's it happens here too. I mean, that's pretty much like the law enforcement thing's like a whole fucking like. I don't even know how to dissect that shit.
That's a huge dissection.
Yeah, like, because there's like straight up people that like I've like worked with at my job that wanted to be cops, and they're like talking how they want to shoot someone because it's a stand your ground state, and someone cut them off on a highway, and they're gonna curse them out. And it's like, you should never be a fucking cop.
Amen to that. Let's bring it back because there's a couple of questions we've got. Do you have any other bands that are similar to you, or as they put it, local goth type bands that you guys like?
Denudes.
A Starry Night.
A Starry Night,
Denudes,
yeah,
Laboratory. Ghost Flower.
Lipstick Alley,
Lipstick Alley.
Ghost Flower, Seven Shadows. Donzi. Hey, if you like us, check out Donzi, definitely. They have everything that makes us good as well. Laboratory.
It's spelled laboratory, but it's pronounced laboratory.
What else is there?
English versus American.
Evolution.
Yeah. No, I mean, I think there's like I don't know if goth is the right word for it, but like dark music scene, I guess it's like slowly evolving.
Well, post-punk is
Post-punk,
basically
yeah, I guess
what
that's
we're
the-
looking for and everything.
That's the more, that would be the more correct.
Glass Body? Did we say Glass Body?
No, Glass Body.
Other local goth type bands, and then follow that up with.
Element.
What is it? What happened? I'm sorry.
We were talking about other local bands that are like, that are with, yes.
Oh, okay. I can name a few.
We have named them already.
That we want to play with, or just in general?
In general. I
Okay,
gotta pee
we
again.
have Element 104, Ghost Flower, Glass Body, Laboratory, of course, Hijas de la Muerte, The Coven, Seven Shadows, A Starry Night. Everything mentioned. Element 104.
What's the other one that we're supposed to play with at that one show? You hit them up.
Oh, Grinder 6. We have Grinder 6 out there as well. I mean, there's so many bands out there. All the viewers, of course, we're going to play with them soon. The Coven. Who else?
Love the Coven. I'm also playing bass for the Coven on January 9th.
That's at Purdy Lounge, right? That's at Purdy Lounge on South Beach.
Yeah, Purdy Lounge on South Beach. So you should come. You should come out.
I'm going to go support the Coven and my bandmate.
Yeah, I have a special appearance and everything. By the way, the host just told me to ask y'all a question. What are your favorite horror movies?
Me? Does that include me?
What am I doing?
You were just asking questions.
I'm gonna run to the restroom real quick
Go ahead. Go.
because I'll laugh at your guys' horror movies. I'm gonna run to the restroom.
Yeah, the live chat question is favorite horror movie.
I'll be right back for that.
Lord Jesus.
I can't get up in this outfit.
For favorite horror movies, the hard question because like for me,
All of them.
I love the trashiest shit.
Like what? Like
I love
fucking
Friday the 13th. Like
Phantasm?
Every single Friday the 13th movie I love, no matter what. Yes.
Oh my god, that was a great one. I don't give a fuck what anyone says.
I love that shit. My favorite movie that is a horror movie, and it's the best movie that is a horror movie is The Shining.
Okay.
Absolutely, like that. That is the most. That is the best made movie that is a horror movie.
Is that because it's more of a thriller? Oh my god, what's gonna happen type horror?
It's pretty much because like everything about it, like the directing, the fucking framing, the fucking ambiance, the dread, everything is so like.
The build-up's really great.
Yeah, like everything is fucking amazing about that movie, but like for horror movies, like I kind of put horror movies and regular movies in a different in movies in a different like level of each other, or pretty much everyone does that. But yeah, like The Shining isn't the best horror movie of all time. I think it's the best movie of all time that is a horror movie, though.
What about you, Kathy?
I like all the Halloween series.
Including 2? Or do we avoid 2 and pretend that didn't
Yeah,
happen?
exactly. I mean, I like
Isn't
that,
it three?
and
Isn't it three?
No, I'm pretty sure it was 2 that had the fucking bad fucking Halloween mask that killed everybody.
and Chucky, really, Chucky.
Oh my god.
Whew.
Child's Play. I love.
Child's. I should rephrase. Child's Play. Yes, definitely. Definitely, those were the ones that really got me scared when I was younger. So.
I also really, really like Hereditary.
Sorry, everybody. You gotta look at my fucking ass because the fucking microphone keeps going off.
Show more.
There we go.
But yeah, Hereditary was a fucking banger of a horror movie. Also, if anyone hasn't checked it out yet, like I really like the movie on Netflix, Into the Tall Grass.
Wow, I haven't checked that
What
one.
about
It is
Puppet
really
Master? Did you like that?
You're not
Puppet
allowed back,
Master, I
Chuck.
haven't seen.
You haven't seen the Puppet Master
I
series?
haven't seen the
Oh my
Puppet
god,
Master.
that's
Neither have I yet, so I don't know.
Have you seen the Into the Tall Grass?
No,
You
I
should
have
watch
not.
It. It's fucking crazy.
No, he's not allowed back.
Chuck, what's your favorite horror movie?
I don't like scary movies.
Boo, Chuck.
Boo, you're quitting right now. We're gonna make you quit.
I don't like scary
I'm firing
movies,
you.
but I really love the movie Captain Ron.
I hated that fucking movie.
You hate?
You're sitting on
I fuck.
Have you
Hate
watched
it.
it recently?
No, I saw it like back when. Oh my god, I hate it.
Really?
I fucking hate it. You know why I hated that? Because the wife's reaction to Captain Ron, like she was so kind of into him. Like I just wanted to slap her and beat fucking Ron. Like,
We're talking about Captain Ron.
and he brings up Captain Ron, which I fucking
We
hated.
went about scary movies.
Oh, you forced Captain Ron into this, didn't you?
Yeah,
But the
always.
thing-
Chuck doesn't like horror movies for whatever reason.
Boo,
I
Chuck.
I don't
should
like
fire
scary
them.
movies. I don't know.
Well, I like The Thing, and I'm like
Thing is
really into
great.
like H.P. Lovecraft. So like modern movies, I like appeal to that like notion. I like The Void that came out, like as a Netflix movie, I think.
Phantasm, Puppet Master, like those are some of my favorite. Child's Play.
Like I'm,
Child's Play.
but in
Child's Play.
terms,
I said that one,
I got a really
Chuck.
funny story about Child's Play. So, my mom's sick in the head. She raised me with horror movies. I remember I watched like The Exorcist, like it was like an earlier memory, and I remember like like slasher films were like, I don't know, she's from New England, so like they're like all into that Halloween shit 24/7.
I love New England.
They all believe in ghosts too. Like everyone in New England.
New
seems to
England
believe
is
in
the
ghosts.
best. New England is the best because they're spooky, but they don't try to be.
Yeah,
like,
they're just into that.
like New Orleans is spooky, but they kind of try to be it a little bit.
they just embrace it, but like
Yeah.
like
Massachusetts is truly.
Yeah.
so I'm not sure if I told you guys this. I remember my mom. I think it was like my 4th birthday or 3rd birthday or something like that, and I just saw like Child's Play like not too long ago. And she like brings me in like the room to open all the presents and stuff home from school, and it was just to open one gift. It was a gag gift before like the birthday party or whatever, and it was a Red Hedge Cabbage Patch Kid doll with like the fucking overalls on. It was like, it's Chucky, and I fucking screamed and ran out. That was a lot of my childhood and shit like that. But my favorite like horror movies though would like. I'm really into like silent movies. Like I think The Cabinet of Dr. Caligari is like probably like. And then, like, my favorite film, which probably isn't really, like, it's not, like, really classified as a horror film, would be, like, A Clockwork Orange. I just like how, like, the negative space that Kubrick uses, like, with the white backdrops, is used to, like, hone in on something really fucked up that's about to go on.
And the follow-up question to that is with that, have you ever had a supernatural experience?
I am supernatural, baby.
Yes.
Earlier today, I did.
Yes, you did. Yes.
Earlier today, I went to go see the OTO's temple. I went to the OTO's temple and I saw Barbatos conjuring through my my girlfriend's high priest, and that was fucking crazy.
Find that demon.
I don't know. Yes, there's probably been some things I've experienced that like aren't explainable, perhaps. But there's an interesting thing that I read an interview with Susie from Susie and the Banshees, and the Banshees have a song specifically about. Oh my God, what's the island got destroyed by the volcano? Pompeii, yes. Cities and Dust is about Pompeii. So her and the drummer Budgie were visiting Pompeii, and she said she was looking at the remains, and she was thinking about things, and that she experienced something that she thought was supernatural. But her take on it was, sometimes maybe when we're in the right place and the right time, and our imagination is stimulated a certain way, we experience things, and maybe that's what the supernatural is just our we're in the right place at the right time to experience something, and maybe it's coming from inside our heads, but we definitely experience it. So
That's like honestly like how I've seen apparitions, but I also know I'm batshit crazy too. So usually I just like write it off as like something more like logical, like our vision's not always accurate.
Well,
I've been up for a long time.
You cremate people, so you've seen the fact that there's like when someone's dead, there's a spark missing. There's an energy missing. There's there's something that's gone, like just reality. Like
I don't like. So I had to cremate like a close family friend who's pretty much like my stepfather. Actually just got a house out of it pretty much. I'm trying to like deal with all that fun shit right now. But seeing him as I waited to receive him specifically, so like no one like really like did his body wrong or whatever. And there is like there's like I'm recognizing death, but I really don't get like I don't know. I think I'm just like such a hardline materialist too that like I don't really like look like I don't really like believe in souls, for example. I just believe like you are your consciousness. You're all your bacteria in your body, like in your brain and how it functions.
okay, but would you agree or disagree? Like when someone's dead, there's something missing. Like like that sack of meat is doesn't.
Well, yeah, I mean, but I would just like probably like, turn it down. Like their brain's just not like working anymore.
Yeah.
And now they're.
And I'm not saying souls because.
Yeah.
But then again, like you can't really like bring all that shit together and make consciousness.
Well, I mean, like seeing my father after he died in the casket, it was just like, I mean, obviously it's not my father anymore. It's just like
Yeah, same here and everything.
Yeah, exactly. It's a husk. The concept.
Yeah,
but then
but like if you try to like bring everything back together, like you can't do it. Like there's no way.
Oh, that we don't know of. Well, let's not say
it's so much greater than the sum of its parts.
I mean, well, listen, and there's also that too. I mean, like there's a lot of stuff that we don't know. I mean, like what a few hundred years ago we didn't understand how bacteria worked. So I mean, there's always the possibility that there's things that we just don't have the ability to grasp or understand yet, just because we're at this point in human evolution. So
kind of on that though, like I like me personally, like I'm not really for cremation, and it's not really. It's got like a bit to do with like the ecosystem, but I'd still say cremating is better than putting embalmed bodies in the ground.
Right, yeah.
But it's just more of like because you are a lot more like you are an organism made up of other organisms, and there's something I think like beautiful about the fact that you like the decomposition process of being
slowly returning to the earth. Yes.
Well, like this is all a part of you, all the bacteria in your body, and it's finally gets to consume you and break down, and it gets to get consumed by flora and fauna and recontinue.
Right.
And that's
for worms and
kind of like the like beauty I see in like death, and why I'm not really like pro cremation person for my body. Like I put me in the dirt, don't embalm me, put me directly in the dirt, no casket. Like I want to like decompose into the earth.
Part of the system again. Yeah,
exactly.
Yeah.
What about you, Kathy? Have you ever had any supernatural experiences?
From what I remember, just one time, I remember when I was living with my mom, I saw a black shadow of a guy. I couldn't, no figure or anything. I remember waking up, and I'm in the dark though, so there was a shadow in the dark. It's very hard to explain. I don't know. I just remember that from the crack of the door, from where I was standing, it kind of was just looking over me, and I closed my eyes. I was very scared. Shadow figures.
So
I was so scared that I just closed my eyes. And I'm like, just go to sleep. Just go to sleep. I woke up I opened my eyes like 10 minutes after, and it was gone.
So real quick. What's your ethnicity?
Oh, My family's from Peru.
Okay.
Peru.
So I'm guessing because you're not
Hispanic.
well, Hispanic, but you were around a lot of Cubans. Did you like experience a lot of people who were into Santeria or?
I've had friends that practice that, but I was never around for that. I tend to kind of stay away from things like that. I'm just very a lone body, really. Like I'm just home. Really.
I think also living in South Florida and Miami especially, at some point you're going to experience people that are involved in Santeria or voodoo just because of where we are in the world, and the people that live here.
And I'm personally really into that stuff. Like, I don't believe in it, but I'm like really in like Baron Samedi and stuff like that. Like,
I don't.
And the Lao.
I don't have a problem with
Chihuahua.
it. People have their own thing. I'm never.
Oh, I just
but one thing I love about Kathy though is she, no offense, I don't want to scare you.
I'm
Put you on the spot,
I'm scared.
She gets spooked the most and she loves it, and it's great to do like haunted houses with like Kathy
Yes,
and
I
stuff.
am.
Like,
I love it.
Like,
That's
I
why.
just love,
But I love
like-
that because people can
we
take
got
me out
kicked
to
we
like
got, we got
scary
yelled at
places.
Enigma Hunt because I have a little too much fun there, like trying to scare the group.
Yes, but I love it because people can take me out to spooky places, and I love it. But I'm scared. But I like the experience.
She has the most reserved demeanor and everything, but she fucking.
It goes out the window then.
She's the fucking tripper no matter where she goes to. Be it tour, be it fucking at haunted houses, be it like. I wish you would have come. I wish you would have come to some of the demons earlier.
so
And she's Catholic.
I
That's
was
not
sleeping.
cool.
I work night shift, so I have to sleep in the daytime. I mean, I try to sleep. It's very difficult sometimes, but I wanted to go, but I was sleeping. I have to have so I can come here and kind of survive,
So
Yeah.
have any of you guys ever had a tarot reading or anything like
Probably
that?
really drunk.
You
and
did.
No,
I did the other day.
Actually,
How long
no,
ago? Like a month ago. 2 months ago at Las Rosas.
Were they in tune with you? Like the reason why I ask is I used to actually have a tarot deck. I used to do tarot readings. Even though I'm not a religious or spiritual person and very scientific, I believe that because we're all energy, quantum physics and all that done a certain way, your internal energy interacts with the cards and you're with your subconscious. Like I believe it's all subconscious.
Right.
I will give credence to the idea of energy exchange, because if I do this and my hands get 1 degree hotter, the universe, as massive as it is a closed system, and simple laws of. Is it a constantly engaging system?
Yeah.
At any given point, though, is a closed system.
The universe is growing. That's the whole point of it.
Okay, but
universe
all right,
is
but
growing.
I
But it's still all
It's
it's an
right.
interconnected
if I rub
system.
my hands together and they get 1 degree warmer, the air around me has to get 1 degree colder.
Yeah.
And that has to be transferred out.
Energy exchange.
Exactly. So energy exchange exists. That's the only thing I'll give credence to that. I mean, not the only thing I'll give credence to, but that exists. I mean, energy exists. And whether mental energy does or not, I don't know, but energy does exist, and energy exchange absolutely exists.
And, like mental energy definitely exists because you're transferring like neurons or emitting electrical pulses to your brain, but then those disperse too though.
Right.
They're kinetic energy. But what was I gonna say? I was gonna say something fun.
Well, there's a thing about that test where they shoot photons against a lead shield, and the results are always different if somebody's observing it
Or not. Yeah, you're talking about that goes into quantum physics and
Right.
relativity.
My specialty
But if
is
it's
in
observed, it
geology
always goes
and
one way. If
anthropology.
it's not observed, and it's revealed.
Subjective observation
good at math.
obviously has some effect.
I'm
on
decent
it.
at math.
Is that the energy being expended by the person? Who knows what it is, right? But again,
Which
not to
then
go-
jumps into multiverse theory and all that fun
One
stuff.
of the things though, with tarot cards specifically, that I do remember a tarot card reading, and I just kind of laughed because it was not to dismiss it, it's not legit, but everyone was off, it was just no, that's not happening at all.
Mine was actually right on.
But-
I was
But
actually
here's the difference though, too,
surprised.
because I remember I commented because I said what you want to do is you want to stick to Barnum and rainbow statements. When you're giving these readings, it's a trick, and you want to know how to execute the trick properly. It needs to apply to pretty much everyone. So something I bet you were very awkward as a youth, but now you're starting to feel like you're finding yourself. That applies to everyone. No matter who you are, that applies to you.
like in Pee Wee's Big Adventure.
See, well, but it doesn't apply because, unfortunately, part of why my youth was a little bit fucked up, especially when I had teenage years, is I had a fixed idea of how people worked. And it wasn't accurate at all. For instance, I thought as a guy, to be able to date a girl, you had to have money to spend on her, you had to have a car.
Right.
Boy, was that fucking wrong.
That's social conditioning. I mean, that's like,
Kind of gender influence.
right. It's what
you
you're
know,
taught.
I mean, but at the same time, there's certain things like done right. Yes, there is a bit of
chicanery.
applies to a vast, but at the same time, because of that, yes, there's a lot of interpretation. There's a wide swath of the statements of reading. Because at one point, I was huge into tarot reading. I went to a Catholic high school. I fucking pissed off my religious teacher. I wrote a fucking paper. The premise was that Jesus, Buddha, and Allah were all the same person.
I kind of like that hypothesis though. Like, I mean, the time periods when like Buddha and Jesus. I mean, not Buddha and Jesus. Like.
Well, the entities they represent
Muhammad.
humanity.
But yeah, like, well, definitely, like, especially because all those religions are very like Iron Age based. Not to go into history, but it's happening.
Well, the basis was like there's that big like separation of time where the history of Jesus from when he was 18 to when he came back around like 32 or whatever the age was.
Right.
But if you look at it, like Buddha was a young man, like a late teens, early 20s.
Siddhartha.
Yeah, Siddhartha. If you take into account that the dating system could be fucked up very easily.
Well, you have different calendars too, interacting with each other.
Theoretically, like if you look at the concepts they all espouse, they're all very similar.
Well, it's the iconography they represent.
Right.
Humanity. That's more the linking element.
Something like I really noticed that's interesting with this is that like all these religions, like those three specifically, like Buddhism, Islam, and Christianity, aren't ethnic-based religions. They're about
And they're all from essentially the same continent body.
Yeah, like West Asia.
Yeah.
Yeah. But like it's really interesting because they're all kind of So if you look like the predecessor to like
Kathy's
Islam,
like, we are way out in the
Islam
fucking
and-
weeds right now.
Islam and Christianity, for example, like they're from Judaism, which is a very ethnic-based religion. Like you need to be born into Judaism. Like you can convert, but you're not really a part of the tribe.
Unless you're married to a Jew.
That too. And it's very matrilineal, so you can't prove that the mother didn't have the kid, sort of thing. So that's why it's very matrilineal.
But that
something
may-
like Hinduism too.
That's actually why I'm technically Jewish right now because.
But it really give the
it's
Jews credit.
fucking
It
weird.
makes sense. Like the child came from the mother.
Yeah.
You don't really know who the father is.
Exactly.
Yeah. I mean, the other thing too is there's a huge amount of tribalism worked into that.
Oh,
Definitely.
absolutely.
And then you also,
But
yeah,
that's
like
what
state,
humans are. They're
at that point,
clannish,
like
tribal people.
state. And then the same thing with like
I'm
Hinduism.
sorry, Kathy. Let's change this topic
Oh,
because
sorry.
Kathy's getting.
Uh,
No.
I didn't get
I'm excited on
enough
this
rest
one.
overnight. I worked
So,
night shift.
what do you do for fun outside of drink? Like,
I rock and roll. I don't have an answer yet. Give me a second.
We hang out at Scandals.
Ride motorcycles.
you ride bikes?
Ride
Okay.
motorcycles and smoke
Yeah,
cigarettes.
What kind of bike do you have?
I don't have a bike right now. I used to have a Royal
You're a
Star,
bicycle now.
1600 cc Royal Star.
Hobby, though. You like
Yeah.
to ride
Now I ride
Yeah.
bicycles.
I got a Harley Street Glide SC.
Is that
That's
the one
a,
that's out front?
I ride
No,
a-
that's
I ride a bicycle too.
that's a Heritage Softail.
Oh, nice.
That's my brother's bike. Mine's in the garage.
Right on.
But you're in the bicycle.
Yeah.
Fuck you, Chuck.
He takes
Yeah, I had a motorcycle and then I got wrecked on it,
And-
so I haven't gotten one since.
And then you're into reading as
Everyone
well.
in the new band that I'm
You're
in
into
with,
reading as well?
Oh, yeah, I love reading.
What
Chuck,
kind of books do you like to read?
Oh my God, I
rides
just-
rides the motorcycle. So he wants to get into a motorcycle again.
I recently got a really good book that is the history of all the great philosophers, and it's broken into 3-page segments.
Sartre's my favorite.
No, this starts with like the Greek philosophers and takes it all the way up to like the modern.
college.
Yeah.
Greek
It's really
philosopher.
great. It's like it's 3 pages, and
You
you
go
just
into, like, the
you don't have to go
Kant
into
viewpoint.
all. You don't have to go into everything about him. It's Aristotle,
Kant.
his
All
basic
right,
views.
we're
his
getting way
concepts.
too deep.
Right.
Dan, what about you? What do you like to do for fun outside of play music?
I like to watch wrestling and lift a bunch of weights.
I'll show you the weight room we got here in the
I saw
house.
the weight room. How much you bench?
Ooh.
No, I'm not getting into that. It's embarrassing.
Hyper masculinity
It's
over here.
embarrassing. It's embarrassing. I don't
Mine's
bench much.
embarrassing right now. Like I can maybe bench like 135 nowadays.
Yeah, I'm right around there with you, so let's not get into that.
I got you.
Still puts it out there.
What about you, Kathy?
I'm actually, I want to say the future, like interests or hobbies. Actually, I'm gonna start getting into yoga. There's this laboratory. The lead singer actually teaches yoga, which I'm gonna attend. Yeah, we should. It's every Thursday at 6:30 p.m. Oh, we could. It's 6:30 p.m. every Thursdays. I'm actually free next Thursday, so I told her I would attend. It's at Finca Morada. It's somewhere in Miami. I don't have the address with me
with
right
a
now.
name
but
like
shout out-
Mortala, yeah, it's obviously in Miami.
Shout out to Shadow Lights, I believe it was called. But yes, I'm gonna start doing yoga soon, so I feel like I need that balance. So, but it is the lead singer of Laboratory, which is one of the bands we're gonna actually be playing with in January 11th. So I'm excited about that.
Damn. You obviously said, go ahead, talk.
I'm gonna start getting into yoga. Honestly, like
Yeah, we should argue.
one of my
We should
favorite
all go.
hobbies is actually invoking like those sort of like conversations where everyone's like finding their philosophical pursuits.
Chuck, I want to see you doing yoga.
I'm down for it. The other thing as a group that we do as a hobby is we go to the sauna.
Yes.
Which
the
is-
sauna.
Oh yeah, the fucking record.
We're actually free tomorrow, so.
Oh. Wait, is tomorrow Sunday?
Sunday.
I'm not.
Oh, I gotta work.
Boo.
But yeah.
I gotta work tomorrow.
Damn it.
I think I work
But
next
yeah,
week.
we all really enjoy going to the sauna together.
The
love sweating.
Russian Turkish bathhouse in
North
in
Miami Beach.
Russian Turkish bathhouse.
Russian
Ooh,
Turkish bath.
Turkish bathhouse.
Yeah, it's fucking amazing.
Yeah, I'm that asshole who walks around with no towel on. Sorry.
We'll get along greatly.
Not this place. It's co-ed. You gotta wear
Yeah,
a
let's
bathing
go ahead.
Most of us
That's
are.
really lovely though. We should come with us. It's nice.
Yeah, most of
great.
us
Yeah, it's-
like to be naked, so.
It's they have a Russian, a Turkish, a bunch of a Finnish. Then they have ice dips. It's fantastic.
No.
It's amazing in the Russian sauna because it's like 200 degrees in there, but also they
I'm a total
They-
bitch
they-
in that
they
type of a
funnel in-
sauna. I can't stay in there long as much as I like to.
they funnel in like room temperature water
Into
and
buckets?
and you have buckets so you can just like pour it over you, and then when you get out of there you can just like go into an ice bath.
It's
I love
fantastic.
it.
I love it because like my circulation's like just like I don't know. I need to be like hot and cold at the same time, so that's like perfect. Like it's like
Yeah.
I need both euphorias at once.
Yeah, I mean you don't spend too long in the sauna. You spend there as long as you can take it. Then you go out and rest, and then get back into it.
Yeah, eat some borscht.
Yes, they have a little cafe with borscht and really huge Russian beers.
I'm horrible. I actually have a preference
I think
for
that's
Polish food.
Oh yeah.
Zepakałki and fucking pierogies.
Yes, they have pierogies. They also have this.
I love pierogies.
Oh
Matzo ball soup.
no.
Oh.
It's not Solanka. Solanka is the one Russian. Is it a matzo soup? They have a matzo. Yeah, they also have like a Polish soup there called Solanka, which is amazing.
All right. Most of us are a little bit older. Some of us are a little bit younger. So for the younger people, what were the red flags in some of your bad relationships that you recognized afterwards that you wish you'd been like, fuck, I knew better? Like, just a little advice for those who are a bit younger.
When you're out of town, and the person will stop talking to you because you don't talk to them enough.
Okay.
They steal your stuff.
And you stayed in the relationship afterwards?
That's okay.
Didn't think about it at the time. Look, hindsight's 2020.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
There's one red flag I remember very vividly, and it was this one. For me personally, no offense to anyone asking my zodiac sign, but on a serious note,
Sagittarius.
getting into the car on our first date with an open bottle of wine already trashed as shit, and it's like, I mean, we're gonna go to a bar, like why? Like, god damn, and then wanting to go out on a drug run like later on that evening. It was like, this is getting weird.
It's a little much to
Also,
introduce
anyone
right off
that's
the bat.
like the band or me, like, nah, sorry, like it's band time.
My personal is the whole, I'm only going to be out for an hour or two to have a drink or two, and it goes way longer than that. And then followed up with I'm too drunk to drive home. Like, in today's day age, sorry, there's Uber, Lyft. And on top of it, there's your partner who can come pick you up. So,
No
like,
excuse. No excuse.
you know, like, not doing what you're gonna say you do is the biggest red flag for me. We got it.
Career goals.
Like, I get canceling plans because you're tired or something happened. Cool. Just say what it is. But when your actions don't match your words, that's the biggest red flag.
Yeah.
And that does it for me every time.
Yeah.
Like I have Asperger's, so I'll tell you how it is. Like, I'm very much an introvert. Part of why I do this podcast is to help practice and work on interacting with people.
That's awesome, dude. Yes,
Yeah.
totally.
You know, because otherwise I'd fucking sit on that computer and not do anything.
Yeah.
And that's what I did for many, many years of my life.
You can't pick me calling me a noob.
Oh, absolutely. You fuck. No, actually, I don't trash talk anymore because I grew up a bit, just a hair bit.
I totally understand that. I mean, like, to a certain level in bands, because it forces a social situation on me, which if maybe it didn't exist, I would probably just spend all my time working.
Oh,
and,
I'd just be a hermit.
Yeah,
Like, I'd
just
show up
work
for
all the
class
time.
and leave. Like,
Yeah.
And work.
Yeah.
I'll probably be a fucking multi-millionaire.
With your leg up.
Yeah.
And why is that? What would have you done instead?
I'm smart, bro.
Working all the time.
Yeah,
I'm
making
smart,
money.
bro. I work.
He's
I work.
smart and
I work in the fucking the tech industry.
he makes more money. Than I
Good
do,
for you. I
so-
can't sit behind a desk. I go crazy.
Yeah, I fucking hate that shit too. But
No, like,
like I work a little bit into that to my like end potential.
so what's your favorite operating system? Unix, Linux, Red Hat, what?
I work in marketing,
Oh my god.
so I don't know.
Linux is cool.
Yeah.
Linux. But you need to know how to
My
like
favorite,
fucking do
my
Linux.
favorite marketing system is Bing. I fucking love Microsoft marketing, but Google is the better one. But yeah, like there's a lot more that I can be doing. I probably would be a fucking like code genius at this point.
If you didn't
If
waste
I
your
wasn't in
time.
this band.
If you didn't waste your time being in bands.
Yeah, yeah.
At what point in your life though did you come across being a code genius? Tomorrow, bro.
What language would you think you'd be coding in? C++, Python, what?
I would just go to a school for coding and shit like that because I know how to do that. Because I am like right now I should be working, but the reason that I'm not being fired from my job right now is because I'm
That good?
Yeah.
Calm down, Kanye West.
Oh, the reason why I ask is like I went to college for international finance
Yeah.
because as
I
my
went for economics.
my
So it's
my
kinda so
economic
close,
my
yeah.
macroeconomics teacher who was a
Yeah.
professor at Temple said, if you want to make money, work with money.
Yeah.
My problem is I can't be in an office behind a desk. It drives me
I
nuts.
should be doing like e-commerce then or something. Or?
No, I just I can't. Like that's why I love what I do. Like I get out, I can tell
Physical
people
experience, yeah.
I build something. There's something physically there after I'm done.
Dude, yeah.
And if someone pisses me off, I can say, "What the fuck is your fucking problem, Warren? Is your head so far up your fucking ass you can't fucking think straight?"
Yeah, I can actually.
And the worst I get is my boss telling me you can't curse that much at people.
I can completely relate to that. That's like, because I originally went for school for music business and recording arts, and I just can't do studio life like professionally or like live sound even. I need to be like more like doing stuff.
So
and I feel like I have to,
were you a thespian in high school?
No.
Not a lesbian, a thespian. Sorry,
He was in the marching band.
I was in the marching
you were in band. Okay.
But like
I asked because I was a thespian. I did theater all through high school.
not like too much really. I was honestly into skipping school and smoking pot in my
Okay.
apartment, which was a corner away. But
Did you guys know that I was in chorus in high school? Believe it or not. Yeah, but I don't want to sing now. That was horrible.
Now
I
you
was,
have to sing.
I was in
I
chorus.
completely get that. Like,
Bombshell right here.
keep moving. That's one of the main reasons why I wanted to like transfer over to the crematory. So there's still movement with like being like a mortician, like funeral directing. Nah, you're like sitting a lot at a desk and like doing arrangements with families. But when you're like the crematory, like I'm constantly like
physically involved. And stuff.
Physically involved, like cursing at machines, like moving bodies up closer to the fire, like getting the next round ready, like unloading vans, like constantly go, 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 go.
But do you enjoy what you're doing?
I do. It's not what I want to maintain doing, but that's also why, like, my end goal is to be like work archaeology, like field research. Like, I want to be traveling and like
Motherfucker
digging
wants to
in the
go to
dirt.
New Zealand and fucking like
Dig up mammoth remains.
What
yeah,
about
dig
you?
up mammoth remains and also
I
like
get it.
reclaim Old Zealand.
What do you want to do if you could be doing anything? Are you doing what you want to do?
No, my job is not exactly not at all what I want to do. What I want to do in the short term is I want to open up a fucking vegan restaurant venue.
Do you eat vegan or you just think like?
I eat 75% vegan. I believe in it a lot, but also like the best people that I ever met are vegan. So I want to open up a restaurant for them to have them around, but also like I always wanted to have a venue and shit. But yeah.
What about you, Kathy? Do you like being a nurse?
I love being a nurse. But, you know, with time and the stuff I do, the person does get burnt out. I'm at that point where I'm starting to get burned out.
That's a surprise. My mom fucking just retired from being a nurse last year.
Yeah, many years. I don't know how she did so many years.
Oh,
but
she did labor and delivery, and
Oh, okay.
Do you feel like repetition, like, kind of gets like burnt out with that too?
Repetition in the job?
Yeah.
Every time I go in there's something new. So there's no really repetition per se, but that's the reason why I'm going back to school. I'm starting school again in January for my master's degree.
Okay.
For nursing informatics, which is pretty much nursing technology, which is in my eyes would be the future. You know, I won't be bedside anymore. I would be more behind the scenes, helping nurses at bedside do what they didn't need to do with the software that they use, which I use now. I'm
So
pretty much, yeah.
You're,
not a
you're
robot,
actually
but-
in a venue. I have some knowledge. Like my stepfather was a firefighter paramedic. It's in the newspaper. You can look him up if you actually know who he is. It was a huge fucking scandal with his fire department. And then became a nurse and became the charge nurse for the hospital for the ER department he worked for, and actually left it to go work for a coding billing software company.
Cool.
But before that, he was actually working for a company that produced a lot of the IV needles, the safety needles,
nice.
Johnson & Johnson, and
Yeah.
what have you. And he was the in-house instructor, so he'd come and do the in-service.
Oh, nice. Yes.
And then he went and worked for the software company that does billing. And then a couple times he filled in, like he did a year in another state where he was the fucking head of the hospital for till they could hire someone to take the job full time. And he managed like 3 different hospitals over his time. And
Oh, wow.
so like you're talking about getting into the software technology side, that's what he did. And he makes a lot more money than working as a nurse. That's for damn sure.
Yeah, I mean, you know,
Tech's big.
it will get to that point, you know, with experience and all of that. Working, not per se less, but working differently and trying to make more money, of course. So that's where I'm going for.
Yeah, my mama told me she was disappointed that I don't make as much money as I had the potential to make.
Well,
But are you doing what you love though too? Like
No,
that's
but
the
I'm
point.
doing what I have for the most part. Most days I enjoy what I'm doing because I fix problems.
Yeah, and that's good because like it's like that. Like I remember like working like retail, like just feeling like emptiness, kind of like I'm not doing anything to like a community or anything. And then like working in the death industry, at least I fill that void, and that makes me personally feel like I'm doing something altruistic. Like I'm not just like pushing product. Even though there is pushing product with my job, but I feel like I'm doing something.
The 2 things
bigger.
I enjoy about my job is solving problems and figuring out what the fix for the problem is before I even actually get there and start testing to find out. Like, I get a sense of accomplishment out of that. And I also do enjoy building something that facilitates everyone using the fucking computers they walk around in their pocket. So, you know, I mean, that's kind of cool. Like, I make this shit fucking work. Like,
yeah,
Yeah,
sense of
you do actually like absolutely productive work. Like me right now, like My mom's pretty proud of me for making so much money. I'm really close to what she makes at this point, but I don't like it. Like I don't like the marketing aspect. I don't want to do this for the long term. And at some point I will pivot to do something that I really want to do, but I don't know when it's going to be.
Yeah, I don't know. Having a sense of accomplishment in what you do during the day is an important and good feeling.
You're the self-made man with that. What are you, Chuck?
I'm happy that I thank our Black Lord every day that I'm able to
Black Lord,
design and produce art and make a living at it.
It's a good band name.
Have you ever, like, so I'm 100% right because I don't want to fuck shit up. You're a gay man. You're gay or bisexual? No. I'm not asking. I don't give a shit. Whatever fucking gets your fucking rocks off.
Yeah, I identify as bisexual.
Okay, so you swing both ways.
Yeah.
That's why I'm asking. Missy?
Pansexual. I mostly am involved with biological women though, but gender is not really a thing for me.
Whoever turns you on and gets you.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah.
I'm bisexual, but I lean more towards the ladies.
Okay.
Same as Missy, pansexual. You know.
I don't give a shit. Fuck. I fucking sorry, guys. I just can't get turned on by a guy.
Right now, the dating pool that's texting us will know.
Like I said, I live with a gay guy, and I've walked out in the living room and seen two guys fucking, and they were embarrassed. I'm like, whatever, you're getting your rocks off. I don't give a shit. I don't like. It is what it is. Like, you're getting your rocks off. You're fucking having a good time. Whatever. I fucking don't give a fuck.
I just like to play everywhere. I'm all over the spectrum. It's fun. I'm greedy.
No, it's look. There's just something about another. Like, I can't do a threesome with two guys and a girl. Like, there's something about another dick involved that I'm like, I feel like I'm jerking myself off at that point.
Everybody's different.
Hey, just sometimes you see someone, you see a dude that's just like pretty.
I could get that. I could understand that. There's just look.
It's a pollito.
Like people talk about like trannies. Like if you don't have that equipment, if you don't have a fucking.
I'm not saying. I'm not talking about trannies.
No, I'm talking about like if even like if you
I'm
don't.
talking about like just dudes that are pretty.
I get what you're saying, and I can like admire it.
Yeah.
But there's something about another cock hanging out other than mine that just like doesn't do it for me. Yeah. Oh, it's so different. Like I'm weird. Like
that's not weird. There's nothing wrong with that.
There's nothing wrong with it. That's your preference,
like,
you know. I mean,
like I can't do like there's nothing exciting to me with a girl wearing fishnets. Like that's.
Oh, that excites me.
But I have her like there was a girl I was messing around with. She was wearing fishnets, and she's the one who tried to sneak a finger up my ass and like.
Ooh, I'm really into that.
He's into that.
And I know a lot of people that are, but like that was such a surprise and like took me totally out. Like
depends what I ate though.
I can't like
you couldn't go on pretty much.
no, I was done. Oh, I was done that day.
Yeah. I mean,
ever since it was like ex-wife, like. I appreciate you're trying to look good, but if you're wearing fishnets, it does nothing for me.
Like,
and don't get me wrong, I got a lot of fucking kinks that would fucking people be like, really, that's a kink? I love a fucking woman in a skirt or a dress. I love fucking.
I like a guy in a dress.
Hey, there's nothing wrong with that. I like fucking a girl wearing her panties when I have fucking sex. I
like fuck boys, really.
Yeah, you do. But that's your business. And that's
you like fuck boys?
That's what they say.
I don't say that. That's what your roommate says.
So
my roommate
you're talking about
said
guys
that.
that are just looking to get laid and they're talking to multiple girls.
Well,
and
kind of
they're
like the gimmick of it too, like the macho kind of.
I like I don't even know, like.
You ever type like you like very like clean masculine men and
Yes.
very like effeminate lipstick lesbians.
Yes. Oh, you pretty much sum it up. Yeah.
I know your type.
Good job. You actually,
I pay attention.
You pay attention. Okay, cool.
Now we're just here talking about.
Me and you, Missy.
This is me and you.
This
What's
is
up?
close and personal.
It's the lead section. That's also the rhythm section.
What?
Who leads in rhythms?
Yes. Oh, that's
We're
true.
both.
true.
We're both.
Boyitos. We're both
We're
boyitos.
the switches.
By the way, I did want to mention to you,
What's up?
last band practice that we had, which was recently, our new song, Neon Lover.
Yeah.
I almost cried, to believe it or not.
Yeah,
believe it or
I
not.
I actually cry when I sing that.
I know. I noticed him, and
Especially when I like really getting the vocals right.
yeah.
It's
No,
my
but
favorite.
when I heard the chorus part with
Oh,
the
yeah,
melody,
yeah,
you and Chuck, like I was holding back the tears.
Aw.
I really was, and
Love that.
trying to sing that part where I want you were trying guys
Mhm.
were trying to get me. That's the part where, because I thought about it a lot, and it's
like
like
what it's
yeah,
saying.
it's so deep. I can't wait to play for you guys this new song, which we are going to be playing for really the second time, December 28th at Litmus. It's our new song called Neon Lover. I was just telling him that our last band practice that we had, I almost cried because that's a very
Wow.
emotional, very deep song, especially with
It's
the
about my
chorus.
ex, Molly.
Yeah,
who
his
died.
ex Molly that passed away.
Oh.
And the chorus part, which Chuck, the drummer, does the secondary vocals with melody with him. I was telling him that during practice, I almost cried during those parts because I actually got to hear the lyrics this time, and it's just so deep that I was literally holding back tears. I didn't tell none of the boys until like right now. I'm literally telling him right now. Neon Lover, our last practice, I almost cried because I could finally hear the lyrics now, like it being put into the song, and the melody that with Chuck's voice and everything, vocals. Yeah, it's a very emotional song, and it really, that song, when we practice it, I really let my passion into it. So I hope it can reflect during our live performances because it's a really emotional and strong, in-depth song.
So what you're saying is it touched you like I want to. Oh, sorry.
Touched us on
It
the
touched
Sorry.
us. It touched
Not
us.
sorry.
It touched us, yes.
Hardest song to play.
Yeah, it is the hardest song, I would say, to play.
All right, so we're gonna wind this down, but there's a couple of questions I got that I'd like to ask, and then we're gonna fucking call it for the night.
Yep.
After your experience here, is there a band you would reach out to and tell them you need to come on this podcast?
Several.
God Rot.
You think that, and it doesn't have to be a band. Like if there's someone who's doing something interesting, artistically, otherwise.
Yeah, let me think about it. It's kind of an on the spot question that I'd like to think about.
Die High.
I can like name some bands that I would definitely like to see on here, even like not locally, like Lamantro.
If they're in town anytime, like
Great.
that you'd be willing to reach out and be like, let me hook you. You got to do this podcast. Like
yeah.
that's the type of thing. Like
Also,
just so the audience knows who we like to see.
local bands. It'd be cool to see like Ghost Flower on here. It'd be crazy
that's
to get
true.
the nudes on here. Like I'd be really happy. Donzi, definitely try and get Donzi on
yeah,
here.
Yeah, Donzi would be fucking.
I love
Ghost
Donzi.
Flower,
Shout out to
they're
Donzi.
actually
I
in
love you
this
guys.
area. They're in Palm Beach County, aren't they?
Yep.
Yeah. So Glass Body would be good. There's just so many bands. Like I just keep going on and on.
Everyone just should come by.
We did this together.
Pretty much
Absolutely,
all the bands that
fucking-
we're playing together with together, like all the V words would be great.
Awesome.
I love
The
that.
Coven.
So good.
Yeah.
Everyone.
And I'm
Yeah,
gonna
pretty
put
much
Kathy on
all.
the spot. Remind everyone when you get a moment, real quick, of where you guys are playing over the next couple of weeks,
All right. December 28th at Respectable Street.
which I'll be at, so you can come
Yes,
find Blue Collar
come,
Genius
come.
there if you're interested in being on the
Come
show.
hang out. There's a lot of bands playing. We're really excited about that one. But the one that we're really super duper excited is the one January 4th for Phlebotomy at Churchill's Pub down in with Mother Junior down in Miami. That's January 4th. Next up, we have January 11th with Hijas de la Muerte and Laboratory, which
And-
are all good friends of ours.
I love
And
those ladies.
That's actually
Yeah.
a part of our like I guess like production called the Witching Hour Showcase,
Yes.
which focuses more on like goth themed bands but with live music as opposed to DJs.
Yes, definitely. And to finish up January, we have January 25th, Propaganda with the Coven, and as well as all the V words. So we're super excited. They're great bands we're playing with, promoting our new EP that was just released. So
And we'll be releasing a single soon as well.
Awesome.
lots of things in the works right now.
Anything last minute you guys want to tell the people that tuned in, and especially the 4 people that have watched this from beginning to end? You crazy
love you.
fucks.
Thank
Y'all
you.
are fucking insane.
No, good.
On a Saturday
Fucking
night, you
see
should
it,
yourself.
yes.
No, thank you. Thank you for having
Awesome.
us, dude. This was
DM me if you watch the whole thing.
Don't worry,
Like,
I
awesome.
will. With that, thank you for fucking tuning in to another Blue Collar Genius, and go fuck yourself.